Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Player's Take, episode 194. I'm your host, Justin DeSimone, joined by my co-host. He wants me to play Apex Legends. Montrell Rice.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah, man, I heard you've been asking where I've been the last few days.
Yeah, but then I think either Brad or Andy checked your PS. I think it was Andy because he was on PlayStation, so it might have been Andy. He checked that you were on PlayStation playing Genshin Impact, and I was like, "Oh, never mind. We're not going to see him for another couple of weeks." Then
I
it
mean,
all makes sense now.
look. Okay, I mean, I needed a few days, all right, like a week where I wasn't playing. I just haven't been in the mood for multiplayer. I just kind of needed a few days of not screaming in Apex or fucking Overwatch or whatever. So I may get on tonight if we're done early enough here and play if you guys are gonna be around. So but we'll get into all that. What we've been playing, Montreal. Outside of that, how have you been? Have been doing? How have you been doing? How's life treating
uh, I'll be honest. I'm in limbo, even though I've been playing Bayonetta. I really enjoyed. Oh, I should put Call of Duty on that list.
you?
I've really been enjoying. Well, I play my character action games in like waves.
Yeah.
I never finish them all out because, especially with this game,
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to get into that. I'll get into that later. But yeah, it's just been like a down period for me for right now as far as game time and everything like that.
Yeah.
Outside of games, I've just been a little bit sick here and there. Like I called off today.
Mm.
Um, I really didn't. It's not like I didn't feel like going to work. It was just like I couldn't get out of bed.
I
So I had a
mean,
personal day,
I know what you mean,
and
like a mental health day.
yeah,
I mean, those like I know some people make fun of that shit, but dude, I've had days in my life where I wake up and I'm like, I can't do it today. I just like I can't.
yeah,
I can't do it today.
yeah. And it was definitely one of those days today. It was pretty cool because because obviously we had the podcast, so I still had time to myself before the podcast. Because usually when I get home, I have maybe about an hour to myself, and
Right in
then
there,
I'm jumping.
baby. We're going
Yeah.
right away.
So I mean, this was cool. To just do that or whatever. I think every job should at least give you 1 or 2 mental health days that doesn't count towards your sick day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or it could be a legitimate sick day excuse. I don't know, but I think every job should do that. I try not to abuse it.
Yeah.
Even my sick days are personal days, so I haven't took. This is like probably my first one I taking in like the last 2 years, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
If it wasn't a scheduled day off, so this is like the first time I called off. I
Yeah.
just feel like I need it, and I don't know if you're feeling it, but like the seasonal depression shit, I didn't think that shit was real, but that shit is real. Like I'm really feeling it, even though I've been looking forward to like fall. It's like as soon as everything changed over, I was like, wow, I'm depressed,
Yeah. I mean,
and I had no idea why.
I'm okay. I'm actually okay right now. I think I was feeling that a couple weeks ago, especially when I was in Chicago. I just was not. I don't know. I wasn't in a good mental space. But like the last few weeks in my job, I'd say the last 3 or 4. It has been nonstop, balls to the fucking wall. I don't even have a minute to think. Like that's how insane it's been at work. That today was like the first day in forever that I can even remember where I was actually able to like take a minute
Hmm.
and like not have work either up my ass or something I absolutely had to get done that day. I was like kind of able to just like chill, do my work at a comfortable pace, even take a couple breaks, like not just like killing myself to get shit done. This is the first time in a while that I've had a day like that, so it was actually very nice. But yeah, I haven't honestly. It's been so busy at work that I haven't had time to even think about fucking that is part of the reason I haven't been playing with you guys. I've just been, dude. I've been coming home and I'm so tired. Like yesterday, I just came home, dude. I conked out on the couch for like an hour and a half. The second I got home, like I was like, fuck, because I actually wanted to play yesterday, but dude, when I woke up, it was like 7:45 or so, or 8, and I hadn't eaten yet either. So by the time I sat down, ate, after getting, I was like past 9 o'clock. I was like, whatever. I'm just gonna play Genshin. So that's kind of where I've been. I've just been so like overwhelmed, I guess, with work that I'm just like I'm not in the mood for multiplayer at the moment. But But yeah, it's just I get what you mean. Like this season, this time of year um is always kind of weird because it gets like hyper busy, but it's getting colder and it's just I don't know. People tend to be in a worse mood at this time of year for some reason, probably because it's getting colder and people hate the cold. At least around in Texas they do. And
Mm.
so I get what you mean, man. But um yeah. All right, Montrell. Well, uh let's get into the rigmarole of the show. So, for those of you who haven't listened before, this is our weekly show where we talk about video games, video game news, and other topics pertaining to video games. We post at 6 a.m. Central Time on Fridays on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, and your favorite podcast app of choice. And if you'd like to send us a question, you can do so on Twitter at The Players Take, or you can send us an email to theplayerstake01@gmail.com. All right, Montreal, before we get into what we've been playing, I want to talk about something real quick, kind of get your feelings on this, because I know this was percolating in the group chat this week. Is Henry Cavill. So it was announced that The Witcher on Netflix, the television show, is being renewed for a fourth season. And this is, third season has not aired yet. It is not close to airing. It is coming out next summer in 2023, but they have already announced it's getting a fourth season. It's been renewed. However, along with this news came the revelation that Henry Cavill will be leaving the show as Geralt after season 3, and in season 4 and beyond, Liam Hemsworth is going to be taking over as Geralt going forward, and how the show handles that is going to be interesting to see. But how do you feel about this, man? Have you watched both? You've watched both seasons, right? That are out so far.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
yeah, how do you feel about that change?
Uh, Liam Hemsworth is a really good actor, so I have nothing against him, uh, at all, in my opinion. If this was like the first season,
Yeah.
then yes, I can see him as Geralt, because he kind of has a look, he
Yeah.
has the scruffy look and everything. Because remember, we thought Henry Cavill was like way too, you know, good looking of a guy to be Geralt. He
Mhm.
wasn't scruffy enough, but they managed to pull it off. He managed to pull it off rather. Um, so I am disappointed in that. But at the same time, the way season 2 played out, I was like, yikes. I'm
Yeah.
not.
I
I'm
might be
kind of
out on
glad
this
he's.
show, dude.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad he's stepping away from it. According to a lot of sources, I mean, I linked them in the chat and everything, and
Yeah.
all that articles and everybody. Who's working on another project comment on it and everything, saying that it's hard to work with writers that do not like the source material, so they try to do what's best in their eyes for the TV show and everything like
Mhm.
that.
They
And
think they can write a
unfortunately,
better they think they can write a better story.
yeah, and unfortunately, they were dealing with an actor who is a avid Richard fan who
Die
like read
hard.
the books and played the video games and everything.
Mhm.
I'm assuming they didn't know that he was a nerd because of the way he looks or something. I
Mhm.
mean, even me and you didn't know he was like that big of a nerd.
Bro, he's like a bigger
Um,
nerd than we are.
yeah,
I mean, maybe not, but he's up there.
yeah. Um, so and just seeing the direction where the show's going and everything like that, like I think it's really unfortunate, but I think he's at the same mind, like he wants to kind of walk away from it before it dies, and he doesn't want that tied to his name. So I kind of applaud him from just walking away from the project. And I think Netflix is really dropping the ball with this. I don't even think it's Netflix's fault. I don't know who's doing the hiring process for the writers, but uh this is a trend, not just with fucking Netflix, but with like all IPs and everything like that. And I don't know if writers are mad that their content's not getting picked up or their pitches aren't getting picked up, and people just want to see like other IPs get manifest into TV shows. But this is the same thing that happened with Halo. Um, I think the actor actually likes Halo. He read the books and everything, but he was just following what the writers and directors wrote, and that's why we got the Halo that we got, because those people, Microsoft purposely hired people that hate Halo to write Halo because they think, oh, this would be a fresh perspective on Halo and everything like that. And I think they did that with another franchise as well. I can't remember the other franchise. Oh, they did it with Star Wars. Like obviously, um, some of the Star Wars movies were written by people who didn't really like Star Wars or staff that didn't really like Star Wars. Um, Game of Thrones, they didn't do that at the end, but they start writing their own stuff at the end. But that's because they ran out of source material.
Hmm.
Um, and then obviously The Witcher, like The Witcher one, loosely followed one of the books, and then two, it just went batshit crazy in two. I didn't know what the fuck was going on in two.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, they had characters doing things that, man, if they would never do. Like
yeah,
I
and they were just renaming characters, and it was just weird. It was a weird thing. Like,
well, so
uh,
yeah, dude, this for me is like this sucks. Like this is really shitty because like Henry Cavill, man, like he fucking embodied Geralt to an insane degree. Like he was that character, man. Like he is that character. That's the problem. That's the problem with replacing him, right? Is like you said, if Liam Hemsworth was coming in season one and he was Geralt the whole time, I think things would be fine. But like, dude, it's you have to follow up somebody who was like fucking living the character, on screen. Like
yeah,
he just he's perfect, like perfect. Out of anybody in that show, Henry Cavill was like hands down the best. Like it's not even close. I'm not saying anyone else is bad. I'm just saying he is that good. He was that good as Geralt.
yeah, and that's why I don't want people to. I mean, even though we don't have a large audience or whatever, but even the people, I don't want people to attack Hemsworth or because for this. Like, I think he's a phenomenal actor. Like I said, it's just hard to walk into the shoes, like you said, of someone that already played that person to the best of their ability.
Hmm.
You
Yeah,
know, so
it was like people following up the Joker, after the Dark
yeah,
Knight.
exactly. That's
Um,
actually exactly what it's like. Like,
yeah,
yeah, that,
yeah, and I think this is it's because I agree with you, right? Season one of the show I thought was really fucking good. Like I was super excited for what was going to move forward. And they were following the books, at least from what I understand of what the books are, because the first book, which is the first season is based on, is just a bunch of kind of scattered short stories. It's not like in different time periods. It's not like an overarching story, you know.
yeah,
So when they got to season two, and it just kind of felt like a TV show, it kind of lost me, and I did some reading on it, and they like totally made up a lot of shit. Like a lot of the shit that happened in that season had no place, and there was none of that shit was in the book. And then you've
hmm
got characters like Yennefer doing things where she's like trying to like fucking trade Siri for her powers back, which is something that like that character would fucking never do in the books or the games for that matter. And it's just it was just a unfortunately, like I think it was a really disappointing season. Like it but that didn't mean I was done with it, but I think this news is like I'm probably gonna watch season three and see how it is. And if it's as bad as season two was, I'm probably done. I'm probably not gonna watch it beyond season three. Honestly. It's just unfortunate because this is like a really cool series, and I was so happy to see it kind of get the recognition, and the fact that it got a TV show of this caliber was really cool to me, because I got introduced to this series through the games, but obviously it's a book series first, but it's always been a really niche series, period. Like it's always been niche up until probably The Witcher 3 came out. And to see it burst into the mainstream was just really cool, honestly. So it's just disappointing that this is how it goes. The weird thing for me though is the main writer, or I don't know if she's the main writer, but she's like she kind of runs the show. Her name is Lauren Hisrich.
hmm
And she has been like almost radio silent on Twitter since like January. And it's just interesting that she's like, because before that she was like hyper vocal. She was fucking tweeting all the time, like hyper active on Twitter. And yeah, suddenly she's just like, gone. Basically, she's been gone forever. So she hasn't said anything about this. I would be curious to know her thoughts about this situation because there's a lot of shit talking going on about the writers, obviously. And honestly, like Henry had a lot of interviews before last season aired where he kind of was dropping hints that he wasn't very happy with the direction of the story. Um, you know.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's been a ton of like reporting on that. People are pulling up old interviews and stuff like that when they were doing the press tour for season 2, and he was dropping hints as early as back then that he wasn't super happy with the direction they were going. He wasn't overtly saying it, but he was kind of dropping things like, "Yeah, I've had to fight really hard to maintain like Book Geralt in the show,"
Mm-hmm.
things like that, and it's just that's the part I don't get is why they seem like they want to take the story in its own direction because um they failed at that in season 2 like miserably in my opinion. And if that's the path they're going to continue to go, which it seems like it is given the fact that Cavill's leaving, then I don't know how much of a future this show really has, but um it's already been renewed for season 4, which is weird for Netflix because they just fucking cancel everything. Um
Yeah.
so so yeah,
I don't know. People were saying it's because of the Superman thing, but
I don't think it is.
that that news just got announced, and I think he likes. In my opinion, this is just me look outside looking in. It seemed like he enjoyed the Witcher character more than Superman. Superman always brought a lot of controversy for him. But uh, I don't know. The Witcher, he would just seem very natural when he was acting out that character.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
And he didn't talk about Superman the way he talks about the Witcher, like about Geralt, right?
Exactly.
Like
Yeah.
he knows the Witcher very deeply, the games and the books. Like he knows it like back to front. Um
Yeah.
so
So
yeah.
it's probably like his dream to play out this character. And I know for him to walk away from this project, like he probably pleaded with them like, "Hey, can we can still salvage this in the next season, we can still, and they probably just like, "No, we know best cuz we're writers." So,
Yeah.
and that I can't remember what show that new guy. It's a new show coming out that one of the writers is writing on, or the producer, I believe. He was just saying like, "Yeah, I worked on The Witcher. I worked on two episodes of The Witcher, and he said it's just hard to write. It's hard to work with people who do not like the source material." And I'm just like, why do studio? I think that's the real question here.
Why would
Why
you hire
do
people into that
Yeah?
situation?
Why are these
Yeah.
corporations hiring people who don't like? Now I can understand not being familiar with the story, and you like, okay, okay, you want me to hire? I do great writing, so you want me to do a Halo show? Okay, cool. Let me research Halo, play a couple of games, read a couple of
Yeah.
books to see what it's about. But you're actively hiring people that like don't like the stuff
Yeah,
or don't
and
like
that's true
Witcher.
of the Halo show, right? Like it's like well
Yeah.
known that the fucking they like hate the source material.
Yeah, and that's why they did all those crazy things. It's like we were saying, and I don't know if we were talking about it last episode or maybe on Discord or whatever. I can't remember, but it's just weird how they gave, Master Chief a love interest, and like some of the fight scenes are really cool. Like I like how they were switching between first person and everything. I thought that was pretty cool. Some people were saying it's corny. I was like, that's really cool to me. But like everything outside of it, the politics and everything like that, uh on the show rather, not like in real life, but on the show was just weird. I was watching, I'm like, what is this weird canon they're doing? Like this is just so fucking weird. And if they really wanted to make a deep show, there was a whole bunch of content there already there for Halo. They could have talked about child soldiers and stuff like
Hmm.
that, and that's what Master Chief and all the fucking Spartans were, and
Yeah.
everything like that. They could have talked about that phase of him and put a real emotional. He had emotional, deep connections with some of his crew, and they could have wrote on that if they really wanted to do that. But instead, they ditched Cortana. They made Cortana like a regular generic AI,
Hmm.
and then made a random love interest. It was just weird, and I'm kind of glad they didn't do it with The Witcher. And I'm pretty sure the only reason they didn't do it with The Witcher is because Henry Cavill fought them on that. It was like, no, can we not do this random
Hmm.
shit that you're doing? So I don't know, man. It's a weird time. Like like we have the technology and the know-how to make really great content and shows, but it's just like I think maybe writers are fighting back because once again they feel like they're being snuffed. They're forced to write some of this crazy stuff or whatever.
Yeah.
And I understand that to a degree, but at the same time, you have a job and you can't just like write what you want to write because you don't like it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, write something interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard. I'm not a writer, so I'm pretty sure they did pitch stuff to Netflix and probably got turned down. And then they came to them with this job, and they're taking their anger out on this IP, which is not fair to the viewers who love this IP and to potential people who watched it. Because after we watched The Witcher, Deanna was watching me play The Witcher 3. Like I did another playthrough of Witcher 3 and she was like enjoying it. She's like, okay, now I know what the show is about and I know what this game is about. I
Mhm.
want to watch you play it or whatever. So I mean, it does get people into the game and everything like that. So I don't know. That's why I'm really scared for The Last of Us. But I know Sony probably has their hands all over that shit.
I
Like,
mean,
don't fuck this up.
Neil Druckmann is literally a fucking the executive producer on that show. Like he is working on that
Okay.
show. So yeah, so that was my that you know I think the concern with the Last of Us show around the actors not playing the games it's not a big of a deal to me because Neil Druckmann is literally involved and Pedro Pascal said he did watch somebody play part of the first game as well. So based on that first trailer too, they seem to be really nailing the atmosphere of that series
Yeah.
a lot more. So I'm less concerned about that show, but I do understand what you're talking about.
Yeah. So I don't know. I hope it works out. I hope Chris is Chris Hemsworth, right? Yeah, I hope he can knock it out the park. I mean, that's
Liam Hemsworth,
I Liam Hemsworth, I'm
brother
sorry.
maybe of Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah,
I
he
don't
is.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he is. Uh so yeah, I hope he can knock it out the park. That's just a really, really tough role to like fill in.
Yeah.
I could even give him like if he even came back in season 2, but season 1 was like really good, so that would
Hmm.
have been rough too, you know.
Yeah.
So now that season 2 happened and I didn't really like it, it's kind of like okay, this is a reset. I can it you know what? I would take it if they're like this is a complete reset, like you know, we're going to reset the world, and I'm like that's cool. I'll take that, or just
Hmm.
name like The Witcher something else, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
So
All right, fair enough, Montreal. Let's get into the show proper. Let's start with what we've been playing. Do you want to go first, or would you like me?
yeah, so I've been playing Apex Legends. The new map is out. I really like the new map.
Hmm.
Kind of accommodates everybody. They designed this map at season 8. So they started designing this map in season 8, and you can definitely tell they've been working the fuck out of this map. It's a really good map. I think movement characters and defensive characters can benefit from this map a lot. I actually like the new champion.
Hmm.
She's not as annoying as I thought she was gonna be. Like, cringe. She does have some cringe lines and stuff like that, but she's like one of the a witchy goth chick or whatever.
Hmm.
Um, so she has some cringe lines about like, oh, I'm summoning a spell or some shit like that. But I'm like, whatever, that's whatever. But I don't know, her voice lines aren't not as annoying as Valkyrie. Valkyrie is like the like epitome of annoying.
Takes the
Um,
cake, man. Always has.
yeah, yeah. So I like the new champion. I think or legend. I think she's really cool. I think they did a really good job in nailing like the trans role of her and everything like that. Uh, it's just like it feels like really like a really authentic person.
Hmm.
Uh, Also, I didn't notice it, but the Eclipse like logos or everything like the color scheme is of the trans flag. So I thought that was really cool too.
Mm.
Uh, yeah, so I just thought the whole series is done well. Like the character doesn't feel like panderish and everything like that. It's like a really cool character. The character itself, the way it plays, she she's not overbearing.
Yeah.
I don't think she's oppressive. Like I played against some other ones, and I don't think she's oppressive. She's in a good spot. She may even probably need a buff, but I don't know. I had to play with him a couple more weeks.
Yeah.
But I think her spikes are really good to lock down areas. The door thing is really cool. Like I'm constantly locking down doors and rebuilding doors when we're in the area in a tough fight
Mm.
and everything like that.
Hmm.
Um, the alt is where it will show your skill because you can easily separate your team from the other team and you can get fucked over like that.
Yeah.
Or you can separate uh somebody else from their squad, which I've done a couple of times and it's really good. I
Yeah.
do
So
think
does it build like a giant fucking wall? Like, is that the
it's
alt
not super big, but it is big. You would need like I would say like Octane's jump pad to get over it, or maybe Valkyrie's alt to get over it.
or vantage could
Or not
jump over it?
yeah, Vantage can go over it as well. Vantage can
Okay.
if you do it right, Vantage can go over it. Um, but yeah, it's not like super overpowered at all. It does block scans.
Okay.
Uh, I used it in what's his face's alt. I couldn't tell if they can see me or not. Sear's alt, but I did have it up, and Sear couldn't scan me through it.
Yeah,
And
but can he use his heartbeat sensor through it? That's something
I
I'd
don't
want
think
to
no,
know.
he can't use his RB sensor through it
Yeah, because
as well.
I fucking hate that character, bro. Like,
Yeah. I did see people still. He's still meta, by the way. Like he's still meta.
no,
He's
dude, I
still being
played.
used.
I actually played on Sunday for like 45 minutes. I played like 3 or 4 games because I was trying to get my battle pass to 110.
Hmm.
And I was playing a game solo, and dude, I was actually like, I was fucking like dominating. I had like 5 kills, like 1,000 damage or something. I had like wiped like 3 squads, or 3 duos. And dude, I get to like the end game, and there's like 5 squads left. I think me and then 4 others. And I was, I was trying to. There were a bunch of squads around me, so I was kind of holding my position, staying hidden, until the circle came in, and I'm fucking running in, and dude, this fucking seer knew where I was the whole time, and him and his fucking teammate just camped and waited for me as I was running in. I almost like, I fucking hate that character, bro. Like, I fucking, like, I can't stand that character. Like, it's so annoying. So yeah, but anyways,
Okay.
I haven't played Apex. I haven't played the new season yet. I've not played the new map, so I don't have any thoughts on it. But I do look forward to playing it. It sounds like it's a nice change of pace. Better than Storm Point and way better than Kings Canyon. Jesus. Um,
Yeah.
so
No, it's. I think you'll like the map. That's why I really want you to play it,
mhm.
just to get your opinion on it. But me and Jet love it. Like, every time we die, it hasn't been because of the map. We can outrun the circle. There's only been like one time we died to the circle,
Mhm.
um, and that was like our fault.
Yeah.
But like,
Yeah.
uh, the map is not too big, it's not too small. There's a lot of cover everywhere. It's pretty level. You will have to fight for like height advantages, which I do like. Because they're so far and few between. But
Yeah.
I don't feel like you'll be outmaneuvered if you have a movement champion or something like that. You're okay.
Yeah.
Or a defensive champion. So I think that is the meta. You will have to have at least one movement champion or one defensive champion. Which I
Mhm.
mean, we all play. Like I'm playing Catalyst now, so um,
Okay.
that's probably going to be my new main. I'm gonna be switching between her and Ash because Ash has some good skins out this season as well. But
Mm.
I don't know, it's just a really cool game. So
I'll check it out this
uh,
weekend for sure.
yeah,
So what happened with, is Overwatch 2 dead? Like, are we already done with
no,
Overwatch
no,
or okay.
me and Jet played because Brad and Andy were still playing Overwatch
Okay.
with his brother as well. And DJ was in there playing a little bit with them as well. And then me and Jet jumped from Apex Legends because we were just doing duos to Overwatch. And I don't know, I like jumping between the games. I don't know. Overwatch 2 is still fun as fuck. I know a lot of people, a lot of YouTube videos from like long time Overwatch fans, they fucking hate this game, bro. Like
Really? Interesting.
on my YouTube feed, it's nothing but like why I'm done with Overwatch. And oh, I've been playing Overwatch for so long, and it's in a terrible state. And the complaints they have are valid. Majority of it is around the battle pass and the store, which is the store is egregious. Like it's $20 for each skin. It's
I
kind of
mean,
fucking wild.
Apex is the same way, dude. They just copied Apex. Nobody complains about that shit with Apex. Apex has loot boxes, a shitty battle pass, $35 skins. Like, fuck, what? Like I don't like.
So somebody said just because this is exactly what he said today. It's like just because other people do it doesn't make it right, and I agree with that.
No,
But it's
I
just
know. My
like
point is, like, why is no one complaining about Apex? It's like I don't know. That's fucking
yeah, I
weird to
mean
me.
because people they don't play, and that's why I'm so scared for the Overwatch community. I'm actually glad they're fighting against this, but I'm so scared for the Overwatch community because
Yeah,
they
but
can
they're like
easily
weird.
turn.
They like the loot boxes better.
Yeah, they like the loot boxes better.
Because that makes no sense to me. Maybe they felt like it was more rewarding because you got one every time you leveled up in the original Overwatch.
Yeah, I
Um,
think that's what it is, and then you have to. I mean, to be honest, their battle pass is shitty.
it's terrible. It's bad. No, it is
And
bad. But
yeah, they give you like shitty voice lines that no one really cares about, and I mean, Apex Legend does the same shit,
I
but
think
like at least we
Fortnite's the
get
only game doing a battle pass right now.
yeah,
Like in my
yeah.
opinion.
I don't know. It's just it's really weird because like all the same complaints we had about Apex Legends is what they're going through in Overwatch. but I don't think we are as invested in Overwatch as they are.
Yeah.
So like the way they're angry is the way we're angry at Apex Legends,
Well,
and I
I don't
totally
want to
get it.
spend money in Overwatch. So, like, I have no interest in the skins. I literally don't care, like, about the skins in the shop. I have no
Yeah,
plans on spending money in that game. The only way I'm going to spend money is if I finish the battle pass by the end of the season, and I'm like, okay, fine,
yeah,
I'll pay fucking $10 to unlock all this shit, you know. But
yeah,
I'm not really planning to buy anything in the store. Um, anytime soon. So it's like, to me, that's I guess that's the difference, right? In Apex, I do
yeah.
spend money in Apex. I've spent plenty of money in Apex, so more
Yeah,
investment
and
there.
I have too. I mean, I just bought the battle pass. I bought this bundle they had. It was a battle pass with like
Hmm.
20,000 or 2,000 coins,
Yeah,
or 2,000 coins rather. Um, and I got the battle pass, and I got me one skin that I used, or two skins that I used, or whatever.
yeah,
And then I went out my way to buy one skin because I really wanted the Nova skin for
Widow.
fucking Widowmaker. But that's about it. But I haven't bought anything else, and um yeah, I don't know what to say because I'm not really into that community like that. I know a lot of people are also upset about the meta right now, which is the Genji Sombra meta and the
Mm-hmm.
diving,
Mm-hmm.
which I do understand. I'm a support or whatever. Um, it does get really hectic, trying to look out for everybody and everything like that. Um, and I also agree with the sentiment that tanks do a lot of fucking damage. They buff the tanks. I think they should have more damage reduction, but like less damage because Reinhardt is just, bro. He just does way too much fucking damage. The shit that he can do is kind of wild.
Yeah,
But
Diva's the
everything else,
same
I
way,
like.
dude. Diva's fucking crazy, man. I think
Yeah, Diva is
I
insane.
think
Her
Diva's
ult is just insane.
insane.
Yeah, her
Yeah,
ult is just fucking
I
crazy.
don't. It's not even
Um,
just the alt though, dude. Her whole kit is fucking really good, right? Like, in the state the game is in right now, I feel like her kit is fucking really good in general.
yeah, and I don't know if they're gonna touch her. Um, I don't know. It's just I'm enjoying the game. Some games is like, we get stomped on, and some games is even. And some games we stomp on people. So I like the flow of it. It's okay right now. I don't know how that's going to change with our MMR and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Then the next game I've been playing was Bayonetta 3. So actually, I'll come back to this. I've been playing Call of Duty
Mm-hmm.
Modern Warfare 2. So I really enjoy the campaign. I think people are doing themselves a disservice when they do not play Call of Duty's campaigns. There's only been like one Call of Duty game that didn't have a campaign. I think that was like Black Ops 3 or 4, one of those. But every Call of Duty, like if I rent the game or somebody let me borrow it, I literally just play it for the campaign because the campaigns are so fucking good.
Yeah.
Like they are, they're really fucking good. And this one is no exception. This one's campaign. Like I watched IGN's review of it, and they gave it like a 6 or something like that. And I don't know why. Maybe because they were kind of comparing it. I think they're too busy comparing it to like old Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and this one kind of had the same twist as the old Call of Duty Modern Warfare, but they did it in a different way. Um, and yeah, it wasn't as impactful, but it did leave a mark with me as far as like, you know, it plays out like one of those tactical Navy SEAL like Netflix shows. Like, have y'all ever watched it's the one with Chris Pratt that just came out.
Mm,
Fuck that on Amazon. I can't remember the name of it.
mm-hmm.
Terminal List. I think that's what it's called.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
he's like a ex Navy SEAL. His family gets killed or whatever, but it's like a really
Yeah.
tactical show or whatever.
Yeah.
And it plays out like that. Like it plays out like a really tactical, Dark SEAL or uh Deep Six One or whatever those Navy SEAL fucking shows are and movies and everything
Mm-hmm.
like that. It just plays like a really tactical show. And the campaign, like as the older games, they focused on large scale battles. So like Modern Warfare 1 and Modern Warfare 2, you were constantly in like large scale battles. You only had a couple missions where you're doing like tactical house clearing and everything like that.
Yeah.
Whereas with this game, you barely had any large scale battles, but everything, like almost all of them, were like tactical clearing and infiltration missions and stuff like that. More, I guess, more so in the realistic part, because not everything needs to have a fucking all out war or whatever. And I actually like that aspect. I mean, I just like more that's more realistic. Even like when I was watching like YouTube videos of the experts react, and a lot of experts were like, "Yeah, this is almost damn near how we do this shit. Like this is crazy." So
Yeah.
I already like it. I think it's a really cool campaign. The
Mhm.
multiplayer on the other hand is still Call of Duty. It's not as fast though.
Mhm.
I do like that. You do run into people. They put a lot of systems in place to prevent the sweaties. Like they just can't run around and I don't know if you ever watch like little meme videos of people like doing crazy, like running, jumping, and then shooting, and running, jumping, and shooting and stuff like that. You can't really do that in this game, which I
Mhm.
like, but you
Yeah.
can do it to a certain degree within the parameters of the game.
Yeah.
Besides that, you get punished for doing stuff like that. So uh I actually like it. I really enjoy this one mode called Prisoner Rescue. It's more of a tactical thing. You can either
Mhm.
kill everybody on the map, you get one life, or you can kill everybody on the map, or you can just rescue the prisoners and stuff like that, depending on which side you're playing. And you can revive people as well. You get one revive too. So I think it's pretty cool. It's a pretty that's the main one I play. I don't really play team deathmatch. I just think team deathmatches in games now are really stale, unless it's like Halo.
Mm.
Like I really don't play team
Yeah.
deathmatch
Agreed.
anymore. Yeah. Uh, so besides that, I think the game's in a good state right now. I did complain about the playlist they had, but they put their playlist inside of something called a filter. So you go to quick play and then you can filter out in quick play which ones you wanted to play. So they just condensed everything down to one thing. So I would have rather had playlist, but they got some playlists for certain things, and then other things is like it's all gathered into quick play, and then you filter into quick play. Um,
Mhm.
so I mean that's pretty weird, but I guess I understand it. uh the matchmaking is sometimes hit or miss, but I think it's just because like everybody's kind of new, and then there are people who are getting off of the old Call of Duty coming to the new Call of Duty, and they're already like fucking super sweaty and shit like that. So sometimes I run into people that's like my skill, and then sometimes I run into people who are super sweaty. So I don't know.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think it's a good game. If you just want to play for the campaign, I will just recommend y'all just wait a couple of weeks, wait till Black Friday, pick it up. It's probably still not gonna be on sale. But I think the campaign is
It
good,
might
especially
maybe
modern.
$15 off.
Okay, yeah. I still recommend it for the campaign. The campaign is only like 6 or 7 hours long, but I had a lot of fun with it. Um,
Mhm.
so yeah.
Okay.
Then the last game is Bayonetta 3, and I have never been jaded by a game in all my life. It's been a while since I've been jaded by a game, and it's not the game itself; it's a controversy around the game. Um, the gameplay is really well. I love the game. Uh, this one in particular though is weird because they have insanely long cutscenes and set pieces.
Oh yeah.
Like some of the set pieces last for like 5 minutes. Like
Hmm.
I clipped one part in there for Jet where I was like, "Oh, you'll probably like this, Jet, because you're right. You can ride. You're dancing on top of a fucking demon spider on fire, uh he's running through the city getting fucking destroyed. Like that's how the game is fucking ridiculous, and I love it. I fell in love with this game all over again. I'm like, this is why I love Bayonetta, because it's over the top craziness. You summon a demon that's almost akin to fucking Godzilla. It's a kaiju monster, and you have a kaiju fight with another demon. Like
Yeah.
it's crazy. So I think it's really cool. If you like wacky shit like that, play it. I think even if you don't like character action games, you just like a regular action game. This game's not aggressively hard. I think you should play it. Uh, the the combat system is really good. Like coming from Valkyrie Elysium to this game is
Mhm.
like this is how you're supposed to do fucking combat. Like
Mhm.
this game is very fucking good. You can cancel shit.
Mhm.
You can go into other modes. You can summon like your demons, like your giant demons, into your combos and everything like that. It's just they know Platinum knows what the fuck they're doing. Like when Platinum's in their bag, they're in their fucking bag, and they're in their bag with this. They just have insanely long cutscenes, even at every mission. I'm talking like 10-minute cutscenes.
Mhm.
It's like Final Fantasy 7 level, and I'm like, bro,
Xenoblade Chronicles.
I'm yeah, like Xenoblade Chronicles type shit, and
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, like what the fuck? Like, um, so I'm not really into that per se. And
Yeah.
then they have like an open hub type area, so you can fight certain enemies and then go to a different hub area, whatever, and then load into a level and stuff like that. but it's also like story based as well. So it's kind of hard to explain, but yeah, the game's all right. I like it. Like I said, I play my character action games in waves because Bayonetta, Devil May Cry, they always do this stupid shit where you get into a flow and you have a really good game loop, and then they feel the need to throw an unnecessary mechanic in there. And a lot of people think
Yeah.
it's John's stealth missions, which are like 2D side scrolling or
Mm,
2.5D side scrolling stealth missions. Um, which I like them. They're okay. It's very funny. It's a kind of break from the monotony.
yeah.
But for Bayonetta herself, she unlocks this like train demon, and like you're on a level that requires to use that gimmick of the train demon,
Mm,
and the way you control it and everything is just stupid, and I don't like it. And I was
yeah.
just like, this is fucking terrible. It breaks up the combat, in my opinion. It's just really fucking bad. A lot of people like it though, but not me.
Yeah.
Um, but I have never seen. Uh, I know I already talked about the controversy last week, but I read that review again, and boy, I have never seen someone so wrong about an article, about a game in my entire life. Like
Reach. Was it a reach?
it was a super reach, my guy, super reach.
Yeah.
Not to spoil it. I mean, you kind of encountered this in the
I
first
don't. I
couple.
don't. I don't care personally. I
Yeah, but
mean,
I don't
yeah.
want to spoil it for anybody else who's playing it.
Gotcha.
But like just know there are confirmed multiverse Bayonettas in this universe. You actually play as one Bayonetta who has pink hair, who lives in Japan, and she gives you a power before she dies. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and then now I'm playing as one. I'm playing as a. No, I'm not playing as one, but I'm fighting alongside another Bayonetta who's in the same universe, but like the timeline got fucked up in that universe, so they're still in like medieval times as far as like their technology wise, but it's the same year, and she's in China like that. She's like a Chinese warlord, so so it's like it's it's like and you're fighting the demons that invaded that. It's like it's literally like you're fighting Thanos or whatever, or their version of like the multiverse and everything like that. So, uh, yeah, you're fighting alongside this like Chinese warlord Bayonetta and shit like that. So, there are different Bayonettas throughout the universe and everything. And without spoiling anything, if y'all read that article, know the Bayonetta this is in the beginning of the game. The Bayonetta, that's not our Bayonetta that dies in the beginning of the game. Like it's not.
Okay.
Uh, uh, and that our Bayonetta does not hook up with um
Luca.
Luca. And I played the other games, and I actually I watched a whole like story so far type deal on YouTube, and it was like 2 or 3 hours long. I was doing it while I was watching it while I was working,
Hmm.
and I forgot Luca does a lot of stuff. Like in that article, you would think Luca is like a non-existent character, like he is a comedy relief character, but like he actually does give Bayonetta a lot of information. Like he does a lot of shit. He is integral to the story. His father finds Bayonetta's coffin and unlocks her because she was asleep for 500 years, and he does a lot, pretty much.
Hmm.
So, and then also the relationship with Bayonetta and John, I to me, I'm still sticking by my guns and saying like that relationship was never romantic. It was always platonic. Like it was like a strong platonic relationship they had with
Yeah.
each other.
Yeah.
Like they were fighting each other, as rivals and stuff like that, but as friends. So it's never been like that. Um, I don't know. That article was just weird, and I think people defending it. I don't know, y'all. Y'all need to just like get your head out your asses. I don't know. It was just a weird thing. I couldn't
Well,
help
I
but
mean,
think about it
people
the entire
defending it
time I
may
was
not
playing
have
this
played the
game.
game, dude. Like they may not have even played the game yet. They're just. I think that's like my issue with the whole thing is that article comes out before the game comes out, and everybody's taking sides, but we don't have context on what the person's really talking about. So I don't know.
I read the article and I honestly think that person either didn't. I don't know how they got to where they got to because the game makes it overtly clear that there are like hundreds of different Bayonettas out there, like hundreds of different universes, thousands of universes. Um, and the simple fact that she kind of didn't even hint that in the article was weird to me. And it makes it seem like 1, 2, and 3 Bayonetta. I mean, I didn't spoil anything when I'm saying this. Is the same Bayonetta, and it's not. And it's just when you read that article, you would think that, and they're like, "Oh, I know the story and everything," and it's like that's not what it is. So I don't know. I just wanted to say that I'm gonna drop it. I'm probably not gonna bring up that ever again. But it was just weird because like Jason Schreier came at me and everything like that, and I was just like, bro, you don't even play the game. You have never played the game, and you said you didn't want to play the game. So how can you defend this so vehemently to me?
Hmm.
But yeah, it is what it is. That's all for I've been playing though.
All right. Well, yeah, mostly for me. So I platinumed The Last of Us Part 2 over the weekend. It was it's kind of an annoying platinum to get, actually. There's just so many fucking collectibles in that game. But I got it. I finished it. So platinum the first game and the second game, which is good. Next times I play those games, I'm just playing through them organically, Um, and then most of what I've mostly been playing otherwise is just Genshin Impact. I've been kind of just running through the main story as much as I can, doing some side stuff. Um, you know, trying to continue to do my dailies and build my characters up, that stuff. I do enjoy this game a lot. I mean, I said it last week, but the thing that's funny now, though, being back in it, I like started going to the Reddit again and like kind of looking at how the community's talking and stuff like that. And man, I forgot how like fucking toxic Genshin's community can fucking be, man. There are some very, very, very miserable people that play this game. It's fucking weird. But um, so I'm probably gonna stop like ingratiating myself within it again because it's just like I just want to play the fucking game. It's like I'm like between games right now. It's kind of the big reason I'm playing this so much is like we've got Harvestella coming out tomorrow on Switch, but I'm not planning on buying that right away. I'm probably gonna hold off on that one
Yeah.
because we've got God of War Ragnarok coming out Wednesday next week. Which this game just got all the reviews dropped today, and this game's getting fucking like tens fucking everywhere. So I'm probably playing that right away next week, and then Tactics Ogre's on Friday. Tactics Ogre Reborn is on Friday, and then there's another game coming later in the month that we'll talk about later that I'm also going to be playing. So I'm kind of like just waiting until Wednesday, basically. That's kind of where I'm at right now. So I don't want to start anything new right now. Because 6 days is not enough time to beat most games. So at least for me, it's not. So yeah, that's pretty much all I've been doing is Genshin and a little bit of Last of Us. I will be playing some Apex probably this week and Overwatch as well. I'll jump back into that stuff. Kind of get myself back in the groove with those games. But all right, Montrell, let's go ahead and jump into the news. We actually have a lot to cover this week, so we need to get through. We need to get through it. So let's start with BioWare. They were in the news this week because the general manager of the studio, Gary McKay, came out and announced that Dragon Age Dreadwolf is playable front to back, and they are in the polishing phase of making this game right now. So we don't have a release date. We don't even have a release window for this game, but they are saying it's basically content complete, at least with the main story. So I mean, Montreal, what do you think? How much longer do you think we're going to be waiting for this game?
Uh, Usually it looks like they got the gameplay loop down and like the main story down, so they're probably just adding and programming different other stuff. So I say like another year. I would even bet it might be ready by the end of next year. I think so.
Yeah, I'm a little doubtful about that. He calls it that he says basically like they got to alpha. Um and but it's kind of a weird state to say cuz alpha is usually like not you're not content complete when you're in alpha or you're not like
Yeah.
playable front to back, in alpha. So I mean, I'm kind of with you. I'm thinking early 2024 though. That's kind of my
Okay.
gut.
I can definitely see that.
Like, because this is what I could see. I could see them announcing late 2023 at like the Game Awards or something, and then
Yeah.
delaying it. That's kind of what I'm thinking is going to happen. And they'll delay it till like March, next the year after next in 2024. So that's kind of my guess. But I mean, are you anticipating this game though? I know you've played all the Dragon Age games, so and I know you're a fan of the
Yeah.
series. But are you looking forward to this one?
Um, yes and no.
Yeah.
The way the last one ended was kind of weird. Actually, I
Hmm.
can't remember how it lasted. How it ended.
Hmm.
Um, so I have to play like a lot of the DLC. There was so much content for fucking Dragon Age Inquisition.
Yeah,
And you remember I put like 120 hours into it. That
I
was just
remember.
like the main story and the main content in the base game.
I
I didn't even
remember.
play the DLC.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
so uh, there's probably a whole bunch of side stories and everything that's probably going to be in this one. So I'm interested in seeing what they're doing. The world is big. Um, and you can send like different soldiers to doing different things. Hopefully, like they kind of stress that. I really want to visit a lot of the world or a lot of the lands in this world that I can only visit, you know, through like dialogue and reading and stuff like that. Even though there are a lot of big lands I could visit in Dragon Age Inquisition. I don't know. It just seems something really cool about this world and about it being an actual open world game. And I know we've been hating on like open world games, especially myself, but this is one of those games where I'm like, I hope this is like a true open world game.
yeah,
Because like the last game was like an open zone game. You got different zones you can go to, and
yeah.
then those zones are fucking huge.
More like Witcher
Um,
3.
yeah, exactly. Whereas this game, I'm kind of hoping it's like more open world or whatever, but I don't want them to like bite off more they can chew, more than they can chew or whatever. But
Well, do
yeah,
you do you
and I
trust
also
do you trust Bioware right now after Anthem and Andromeda?
so after that conversation we had with DJ a couple of episodes ago, even off camera, off mic and everything, I am willing to give them the benefit of the doubt. You know,
Hmm.
it's been
Yeah.
almost 4 or 5 years since Anthem, I believe. 3 or 4
Three,
years, maybe
4?
3 years, I think.
Has it been
Three.
4 years? No way, bro.
Yeah,
God.
we were still working with each other when Anthem came
Was
out.
that the early dude? That was early. Yeah, that was early
We were still on
podcast,
the other
bro.
side of the wall. We were still
Nah,
on the other side of
man,
the
dude,
wall.
it was
Yeah, we
February
were.
2020. It was February 2019. Oh my god. You're fucking with me. It's been that long since Anthem, dude. That's gonna be 4 years in February. That's fucking insane, dude.
Yeah, man.
Oh my god. That was pre-COVID.
Yep.
Fuck. Yeah, we were still recording in the closet, man. Like, oh my god, man.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I think it's gonna be really cool. I have faith in them. I think they learned their lessons. I
Yeah.
think EA itself learned its lessons, especially like I think they got their cash cow already, which is Apex.
Yeah.
They refer to it as in one of their EA calling staff or stockholders callings or whatever, um, as the Apex Legends IP, and that really pissed me off
That set
because
you off. Yeah. I saw
so
that.
I think the heat is off of BioWare to make a live service game. They have their cash cow. That's almost it's not as big as Fortnite, but it's like damn near there. You know, people look at Apex and they pour their money into Apex and everything like that. So
Hmm.
I think that is on Respawn, and on top of that, Respawn's also showed them that hey, we can also make good single player games and bring you good money as well if you just give us the fucking time. So I think BioWare is in the clear now. I don't think there's going to be any pressure for them to make this, fucking, open world game. They already have a multiplayer game which is still going, which is Star Wars: The Old Republic.
Yeah.
I've played that game in years.
True.
So, but that has a very dedicated fan base.
Hmm.
People are still playing that game, and they continue to update it. So,
Yeah.
uh, I don't think I think EA is going to be a little bit hands off with BioWare. And in that case, I think BioWare, that Jason Schreier article that came out 4 years ago as well, 3 years ago, 3.5 years ago, uh, I think that really shook them up. It really shook up the game industry, and they can't do what they did last time. Uh, and on top of that, you had Inquisition, even though Inquisition got Game of the Year, um, Mass Effect Andromeda did not, and people are still looking at Mass Effect Andromeda. They don't really care about Inquisition as far as like your accomplishments. They're looking at the last failure you did, and the last failure was Mass Effect Andromeda and Anthem. So you had
Yeah.
two L's back to back.
Yep.
So they have to bring the heat, and I think they're going to bring the heat. I have faith in them. I have faith that they can bring it.
Yeah, I do too.
This is
I think I'm willing to give them another shot. You know, like
yeah,
they have good IP. I think they can make great games with it. So
yeah. So um I know some like rocky things happen with Dragon Age. They've been talking about Dragon Age for like 4 years already. So
yeah,
the
yeah, they
simple fact
started
that
talking
they're
about this.
only
I think before Anthem came out, didn't they?
yeah, yeah. And you remember at that time they were trying to make it a live service game.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that article.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
I think now it even has a name now. It's Dreadwolf.
Yep.
So I think that's cool. That's an actual thing in the Dragon Age lore. I can't remember what the fuck it is, but it is an actual thing. So I think that's pretty cool. They have an alpha. So to me, they've been working on this game for about 3 years, and they only have an alpha, which means they're taking their time with it. So I'm actually with you. I kind of changed my opinion. I think it's not. I don't even think it's going to come out beginning of 2024. I think it's going to come out the middle of 2024. Um, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, it's weird when you say playable back to front. But then at the same time, you make it like he's making it sound like they're really far away from being done. So I don't know. Yeah, that I'd say early 2024 at the earliest, but we'll see. Hopefully, we get some kind of trailer or something soon. Because honestly, all they've done is talk about this game. They've shown like a little title crawl trailer once, and then like some weird trailer that had I think it was like some art in it. Honestly, mostly they've never actually shown us the game yet. So I think we are getting to the point where we kind of need to see it, but maybe not. Maybe they just wait until 6 months before release too. They could do it that way. But all right, Montrell, let's move on. We got more EA news. EA has signed a 3-game deal with Marvel. And one of these games is going to be an Iron Man game. And the other 2 games we do not there are no details on at this time, but Montreal, this is like similar to the Star Wars deal they did almost 10 years ago now. EA for whatever reason still continue to work with Disney, or for whatever reason Disney considering continuing to work with
Yeah,
EA,
there
because
you
EA
go.
hilariously, when they were talking about this, mentioned the Star Wars deal, and they said we consider it a huge success, or whatever, because 40% of their players on their Star Wars games went on to play other EA games. I'm like, okay, you made like 2 games, but good job, or 3 games, I guess technically, Battlefront 1 and 2, and then Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah, I mean, I
This is
think Fallen Order. I mean, okay, so Star Wars Battlefront did come back,
yeah,
but that was only after like a huge amount of controversy.
yeah.
And then obviously Fallen Order was really good out the bat, off the bat. So I think that's why Disney was like, "We're going back with you." Um,
They saved it at the end.
they saved at the end. Um, Marvel, I'm just, it's not. I don't. It's not that I don't have faith in EA. It's just I don't have faith in the IP of Marvel. I think Marvel games are really hard to make. Spider-Man is like the exception to the rule,
Yeah,
right? Like
agreed.
even when that game was getting launched, I remember I had like this is before the
Mhm.
podcast or whatever. I had my sentiments about like I don't know how this every Spider-Man game that came out has been terrible, but then Insomniac knocked it out the park. Um, so I don't know, man. I Iron Man. Now if BioWare is making it
Well,
and
yeah,
it's
if they
like
use
Anthem,
Anthem as a base, I
yeah,
mean, honestly, it's EA, so I mean,
yeah. If they're doing that, um, I think that would be cool. If they use that as a base, I mean, yeah, because he
yeah,
has
I think
different suits.
they need to make the flight very weighty, right? The
Yeah,
way Anthem did, because I think that's always been the issue with Superman games, is that Superman, obviously he can move as quickly as the Flash, even in the air. So he's like a fucking bullet flying through the air. So it's very difficult to make that feel fun, that kind of flight, because you can be anywhere like super fucking fast. It kind of
yeah,
trivializes the whole world that you're in. Whereas with Anthem, it was like, flying around in that game. I'm not gonna, like, it wasn't difficult or anything like that, but it was weighty. Like it wasn't trivial to like maneuver around, terrain and things like that. So
Yeah. I don't know. It just felt fun too. Like it was just the way they designed the maps and everything. It was really fun.
yeah,
Um, so I mean, they can do the same thing in Iron Man. They have a base to work off of. I think what they should do though is dive deep into the comics and have them fight some like off the world shit or like go to another dimension and shit like that. Like
yeah.
have put it, test him to his limits
Yeah, I
as
agree
Iron Man.
because, dude, think about an Iron Man game, right? Like, are you really gonna have an Iron Man game where he's flying around a city just beating up thugs? Like,
I don't want that, man.
that
I don't think
sounds
that
so
fits Iron
boring.
Man.
That sounds
Yeah.
so boring, dude. Like, he's Iron Man. Like, I don't want him punching and kicking people. That's really not what Iron Man is all about. He's a fucking gadget hero where you're like fucking shooting shit with like beams and, crazy shit like that. So yeah, they're gonna have to they're gonna have to put him up against things that can withstand, you know, that kind of weaponry. In my
Yeah.
opinion, I think to make the game fun and engaging.
Yeah. So, I mean, I have faith. I think like I said, I think they should do it with like either Insomniac did, just don't even follow the movies at all, do your own world, or just dive deep into the comics and be like,
Yeah,
we can use this world or whatever. Because the one game that I think before even Spider Man came out was Wolverine Origins movie, and that show or that video game rather pulled from the comics and then tied it into the movie, but
yeah,
the game was so violent and good that people forgot it was a movie franchise game. That game was really fucking. I recommend people go back and look at Wolverine's Origins video game that came out on the 360. I think it was a PS3 as well. That was made by Ravenclaw.
yeah,
One of the best fucking superhero games I played besides Spider Man. It was fucking crazy.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, hopefully they can do the same thing. So I don't know.
I,
We'll
I
see.
think the only thing I'm annoyed about is I mean, okay, the Iron Man game, great. The fact that they're doing two others though kind of annoys
It's
me.
just Marvel, right? It's not like Star
Yeah,
Wars. It's
it's just
Marvel, right?
Marvel. Yeah, no, it's just Marvel. It
Okay.
kind of annoys me because I'm like, dude, I'm getting kind of tired of these licensed games, man. Like we're getting too many of these at this point, and I don't think every one of these IPs is worthy of a video game, and Iron Man is right on that borderline, dude. Like, I'm sure you can make a great Iron Man game, but I positive you can make a fucking terrible one too. So
You know what? I wouldn't mind Marvel IPs. I just don't want the same heroes we see all the time.
yeah,
Give me a Taskmaster game. Give me some of these B-list villains or B-list, or even like a villain game. Give me like a B-list villain or a B-list hero or a C-list hero or something like that, who's not crazy powerful, but they have interesting powers that you can make a video game out of.
yeah,
Like there are plenty of those in Marvel's universe. I mean, even if you don't want to do that, you can give us a Daredevil game with like a really cool combat system or something like that. You can
yeah,
you can use one of these grounded superheroes and everything like that. So I don't mind it. What I do mind is us seeing the same heroes when Marvel has a plethora of heroes that I don't even know about or that I haven't even named, just because I can't think of off the top of my head that they can use. Um, I don't know.
Can't you just see a Daredevil game though where it's like really mediocre and they have like that, that enhanced listening mode or whatever, like The Last of Us or like detective mode from Batman. They just have that shit in the game. It's like
Yeah,
I
and
could
that's why.
totally see that.
Yeah, and in my head, what I'm thinking about is like Sifu, right? Like that combat system with like,
Yeah.
with fucking Daredevil or whatever. But then you're totally right. They can just go the mediocre route and you just make Batman with Daredevil skin on it. Like that's it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's like it, it's just really weird. I don't know. I think they're going to actually make a She-Hulk game. I think that's going to probably be one of their next games.
Uh,
A She-Hulk or a Hawk game.
I don't need a Hulk
Um,
game.
but yeah, I would just like a B-list hero, man. Like one of
Off
these
the
heroes that
beaten
are not.
path. Somebody different. Maybe like a fucking give me like a Hawkeye game.
Yeah, yeah, that would be easy to do, like a Hawkeye game,
Bow and
or
arrow, motherfucker.
yeah, or even a Black Widow game. I think that would
Okay.
that would be
Yeah,
really
sure.
cool.
Why not? Yeah.
So
I don't
I
need a
don't know.
Thor game. I definitely don't need a Thor game. Do not need a
Yeah,
Thor
I
game.
don't. I don't need a Thor game at all.
Yeah, that would be ugh.
Like, or you can give me like you can. I think like I think they should stop going for like the super big heroes. Like even you can give me a Captain America game. I don't really want or you can give me a Black Panther game, but I just feel like they're gonna make it super. Oh, they're already making a Black Panther game. I'm bad. They're already making a Black Panther game. I
Yeah,
just don't want it to be super corny. That's my only issue with
yeah,
with with that. Like you can give me like a Callisto game, or you can give me like a Cable. I don't know if you guys remember Cable, but like you can give 'em something like that.
Deadpool
You
game.
know, yeah, a Deadpool game. Well, they tried a Deadpool game. Remember that one Deadpool game that
That
came
would be.
out? That was
I
like an
feel like
action
that would be
game.
hard, man. You need really good writers.
They already tried it. I don't know if you remember. It came out on the PS3, Xbox 360.
I do remember that
Uh,
actually. Yeah,
it was like it got like a 6 or 5 or 6 out of there.
yeah,
But I don't know. Like you can give us like a fucking even a Moon Knight. Like Moon Knight would be really fucking cool to
yeah,
play as. I don't know.
yeah, yeah. I just think the reason I'm saying I'm disappointed is because think about it, dude. We got a Guardians game. We got Spider Man. We're about to get another Spider Man. We got two Spider Mans actually. We got another Spider Man. We're getting a fucking Wolverine game. Like we got an Avengers game. Like how much Marvel games do we need? We got plenty of Marvel movies. Like I don't need any more Marvel. Like so I don't know. We'll see what comes of it. I don't depends on the studios working on these two, but I don't have high expectations for these, but EA gonna EA. So
That's the thing about EA, man. They're so hit and miss, bro.
yeah.
Like you can't say they don't have really good games or good IPs and everything. It's just the way they handle them is just really, really hit or miss. Like
Yeah.
really
Don't
hit or
give
miss.
any of these to Respawn either, please. Like fuck. They're already working on Star Wars. Like let them do something not licensed, okay?
And they're working on a single player Apex game, so it's like,
Fuck. Fuck.
uh,
Are they really? Ugh.
yeah, that's their next single player game. It's a single player Apex game.
Yuck. Ugh. No, I just I like have a I'm in a bad mood with Apex right now for some reason. I just have like a lot of disdain for it at the moment. So, but whatever. All right, Montrell, let's move on.
All
Our
right,
next story, so it's kind of a dual story here. This came so the main thing I want to talk about here came out of the news I'm about to tell you guys. So, Embracer Group this week announced that they are shutting down Anoma, which is Square Enix, which was formerly known as Square Enix Montreal, and they acquired this studio along with Eidos and Crystal Dynamics when they did the deal with Square Enix. So they're shutting the studio down, and the studio just changed its name like a month ago, which is not an inexpensive thing to do. So it is kind of the timing of this is kind of weird. But the thing that came out of this, though, that I really want to talk about is that Jason Schreier, along with this report, reported that a Deus Ex game is in development at Eidos Montreal, and it is in very, very early stages. But he also said that Eidos Montreal is partnering with Xbox to develop more than one game, including Fable, which is interesting, which means they might be working on Fable 4 potentially. There's some kind of that's speculative, of course, but I mean, Montreal. So it looks like we are getting a new Deus Ex game,
mm-hmm.
and Eidos Montreal is also working on Xbox on games. So I mean, what do you make of all that?
I'll believe it when I see it. Particularly dealing with this is not shade at Eidos Montreal. This is shade at Xbox. I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah,
Like seriously.
yeah,
Um, I don't know how long we've been working on a Fable game. I do remember the rumors that they pulled other people to help with some of their games.
yeah,
I remember we did this a long time ago that Square or Adios was helping Xbox. So it's good that we have a confirmation that they're helping with Fable or possibly Fable.
hmm
Um, it's good that we're having a Deus Ex game come out or possibly coming out. Um, Also, didn't know too many people hated Deus Ex. I tweeted about Deus Ex, and people were like, "Ugh, that game? You like that game? That's just ass." And I'm like, "Oh, wow, you guys really hate Deus Ex?" And it's like, it's just too slow, man. Like
Interesting.
what the fuck? Like the game's just. I'm like it's an
It's a
RPG
stealth
game.
game. It's a stealth RPG. I don't like what. That's weird.
So a lot of people didn't like Deus Ex. Even though you can
Yes.
play it as an action RPG game if you like, if you build your character right. But I
You can
digress.
run and gun. That is something you can
Yeah.
do in that series.
So I don't know. I think like I said, I just believe when I see it, man. I believe when I see it. About Embracer shutting down Square Enix Montreal, I kind of seen the writing on the wall with that. Who did they used to be? What games had they made? Square Enix Montreal.
They made like Hitman Go, some of the mobile games that Square was making for a while. They're the Go games.
Uh okay, yeah, I can see them shutting them down because like that's
They don't have a place in the. I don't think they have a place
yeah,
in what Embracer's trying to do. You know.
and mobile games is that's that thing is done now. People are stopping that. Like I remember that was a thing before. And you know what? Shouts out to Blizzard because I don't think if we had to hate it on Blizzard the way we did, mobile games would still be coming out the way they do. But yeah.
hmm Yeah. I mean, they're still
I mean,
around, but
they're
it's
still around, but it's more so a meme now.
it's
Because you remember
different though.
every time we hear like IP that's coming back, we're like, oh, is it a mobile game?
Yeah.
Like
I
that's the
mean,
first thing we say.
companies aren't like going all in on mobile the way they were for a little while there. Um,
Yeah,
I think they're realizing that mobile is a complementary thing to what they actually do best.
yeah,
Which is fine with me. We've talked about this with like Fire Emblem, right? Like I'm okay with Fire Emblem Heroes existing as long as we continue to get mainline Fire Emblem games.
yep,
Um, so yeah, that I think that, and for Embracer, it's interesting because they don't. I don't feel like they have a lot of mobile stuff, but then again, they're so massive that I'm probably wrong. They have like 120 studios or some fucking crazy shit like that under them. So yeah. But yeah, as for the Deus Ex game, I'm with you. I mean, it's great. I'm sure Jason is correct, and this is a truthful thing. Like this is truly happening. But I mean, the fact that it's very very early stages means it could get canceled fucking tomorrow. Like so. I'm not like over the moon about it. I'm happy it's happening for sure. But the stuff with Xbox, I think is interesting because they're also working like Xbox is also working with Crystal Dynamics on Perfect Dark, and it's weird that they cannot seem to fucking make any games. Like I don't understand what is going on with Xbox right now, dude. Like they're just like I feel like they're just fucking floundering, with the first party stuff.
yeah.
Because what the fuck is coming out from them in the next
Like
like
I
calendar
said,
year?
man,
What the fuck is coming out? You know?
I don't know. Like I said, I think they're too busy trying to be the cool dad and let their kids do whatever the fuck they want to do. And we got weird random games that came out. We had a game that's coming out that was being developed behind their backs. Like it's just
Yeah.
what the fuck is weird. Like I think the only thing
I
that we got
still
coming
can't
out.
believe that, dude. I said Pentiment or whatever. I can't believe that.
Yeah,
We developed it in secret for 8 months before we told Microsoft. Oh my
that's
god.
just weird to me.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I guess like on one hand, like I don't know how to think about that, man. It's just
Which, by the way,
that's
that's
just
coming
fucking
out in
weird.
it's coming out on November 15th. By the way, Pentiment.
Yeah, I'm not picking that game up.
So
Um,
I mean, if I ever renew my Game Pass subscription that I have
I'll play it. Yeah,
yeah, that I have 6 months of sitting on Amazon, I'll probably do that. I'll probably play it at that point, but yeah, I'm not buying it for sure.
yeah. But I don't know, man. I was just talking about. I was tweeting about that earlier this month or whatever, or
hmm
whatever. It's just like, what has Xbox done over these last couple of months? Like nothing. Like they literally like I remember the meme was PlayStation has no games, but it's like really Xbox has no games. Like
Yeah.
literally none. I think Outer Worlds 2 is coming out, but we don't know when that's coming out.
Nope. No idea.
Some game
Avowed.
called
Still have no
About.
idea.
Yeah, some About is coming out. There's been rumblings of another Fallout, like a Fallout New Vegas 2. We don't know yet. Starfield is coming out. I think they're putting too much eggs in one basket for Starfield, to be honest with you. Um,
Oh yeah, when the fuck is
but
Starfield coming out?
shit, I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah, they it was supposed to be coming out now, right around now, wasn't it? And it got
Yeah.
pushed to Oh, that's right. It's vague. It says the first half of 2023. So
Oh
we don't
yeah.
even have a we don't even know, you know.
Yeah. So, I mean, and they keep interviewing fucking Todd Howard and everything about it, and
You know, and
I
then
every
that
time I
game
see that dude on
yeah,
screen, I lose more hope in the game.
tells you you're gonna fucking orgasm while you're watching the title screen crawl, you know. It's gonna fucking
I-
make you a sandwich and
yeah, I fucking lose. Like, and every time they have an interview with him, it's people in like the comments that just believe him, and I'm just like, how? How do y'all continue to believe this man
I
after
don't
Fallout
understand it,
76?
dude. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't understand why people put anything behind what that dude says. Like I can't I don't get it. I don't get how we like forget what they've done in recent years. Like I don't whatever, dude.
You know, and I understand like DJ sentiment, right? Like, give people chances, give these
No,
studios
no,
chances.
this is not
But
that
like this is
situation.
different, bro. Like this
Yeah,
dude
no.
literally lies every game.
Yeah.
Comes out.
Dude, he what did he say? Like thousands of worlds that you can fully explore or something in the fucking thing in June. Like fuck no. Fuck off, dude.
Yeah,
Like
see, I'm not holding my breath for that, bro.
no,
Like
it's
I can
literally
you
not
you
real. It's not gonna be real. I'm just saying I'm like you don't need to wait for the game to come out. He's fucking lying. Ugh, like the
if he can do that, I'll eat my shit. But like,
well,
bro, he
dude,
said
like
Fallout
the thing
76
is if
has
it's
16
true,
times the detail.
yeah, if it's true, that means the game's procedurally generated,
Yeah.
which it probably is.
I mean, honestly, we have the technology. No Man's Sky
Well, No
did it.
Man's
It took them
Sky,
a
yeah,
while.
No Man's Sky's
Yeah,
done it. Yeah, right.
yeah. So I mean, I can only imagine they probably subcontracted them or something like. I mean, they probably couldn't, but they probably like learned the technology, reverse engineered No Man's Sky, and try to implement it to their
Oh
shit.
yeah, that's gonna end
But
well.
yeah, but it's like, uh, I don't know, just him on his own. Like he lied about almost every game that came out. Even if you go back to Oblivion, as much as I love Oblivion and Starrim, Skyrim, like he lied about those games too, about the shit that you can do in those games, and Fallout 76, 16 times the detail and all that shit like that. Like there's a whole compilation of him just lying about his games,
Yeah,
and it's like now that we probably have technology, now those lies can become reality. But I'm not holding my breath. And for this deal, getting back to this, like I'm just Microsoft right now is just blowing smoke up everyone's asses. They're so far up like Game Pass's ass that they're like there's no benefit of having Game Pass right now. Like
yeah,
I need your first party games to get Game Pass, bro. Like that
yeah,
would be the whole benefit of having it. Your number one IP Halo fucking sucks. Like it has no content at all. There's no point in playing that shit. There's no point in having Game
yeah,
Pass or anything,
yeah.
So I don't know. They just need to.
Well, I think Xbox might be in trouble in the next like calendar year in terms of like this generation right now because
Yeah.
dude, I'm thinking about I'm going to transition this into our next story. So our next story is about Sony. And
Yep.
Sony announced that they've lost 2 million subscribers to PlayStation Plus uh since the tiered version of the service launched in in June. And we can start there. I want to transition this into talking about them versus Xbox again, but like what I mean, how do you take those numbers, Montrell? Like is that surprising to you? It is
I
interesting.
think we called. Didn't we call it? We called this right.
I don't
Maybe we
remember.
didn't. I think we're a little bit. We were positive about this actually. So I'm actually surprised about this because Sony fanboys are like they suck Sony's nuts to the end of the ground.
Yeah.
So I'm actually really surprised that PlayStation Plus is not doing too hot. Now,
Well,
does this
so
mean
I'm gonna tell you the truth. I'm not surprised, and I'm not gonna say I called it or anything, but dude, the new services coincided with a change with PlayStation Plus that I think at retail that is affecting I think how much they're selling through memberships because I could buy a PlayStation Plus 1 year membership, just the basic, 12-month membership for
Mhm.
$25 consistently before this tiered service came out. And when I go to cdkeys.com right now, which is generally where I bought my PS Plus from, it is $49 for a 1 year membership right now. And fuck that. I'm not paying that much for PS Plus. Like I never have. Like I never have. So I think that might be what's contributing to these numbers right now is until that changes and goes back to where it was before, where you could get a year of this for cheap. I think they're gonna see the numbers go down because I don't think people are willing to pay $60 to play games online. You know, the free games or whatever. I don't even care about the fucking free games. Dude, I never put them in my library. I just like I always forget about them. And to be frank, you know what's fucking weird lately? I have been playing online games without PS Plus. Like I
Really?
played, dude, I played fucking Stranger of Paradise with my brother for like multiple sessions without having PS Plus. I played it online with him co-op, which it's supposed to require PS Plus. And I'm also playing Genshin, which is an online game with like I haven't played with anybody, like I haven't tried to play co-op with anybody, but I don't have PS Plus for that either. Whereas something cuz dude, like Monster Hunter, like you can't even launch the game without PS Plus into like any kind of lobby or anything like that, you know? Like the game won't even
Wow.
let you launch it. So it's like weird that I'm
You
some of
can't
these
even play
games.
single player
Say that again.
Monster Hunter? You can't play single player Monster Hunter World?
I think you can, but dude, you remember the way World worked? Like you would have to match make into a lobby when you started the game, you know?
Mm.
So I don't think you need PS Plus, but I remember when I tried to play it a while back, I tried to launch the game and it was yelling at me about PS Plus, and I just said fuck it and uninstalled it, you know? So but anyways, point being is like it's weird, it's inconsistent. It seems like some games require it, some games don't to be online. And I didn't know that was a thing because yeah, I haven't had PS Plus since fucking like December of last year probably. Um
Shit.
Straight up, dude. I'm like straight up. I haven't had it for that long. So, but that's to my point. I think that inconsistency and the fact that pricing has gone up, like way up on a 12-month membership, I think is hurting them right now.
Well,
With PS
too, you
Plus.
gotta
So,
think like a lot of their members come from when it was free. You
hmm
got everything for free, you know?
yeah.
Um so to come from that to where we're at now, it's like I canceled my Xbox subscription. My Xbox subscription has been canceled for about 2 months now because I haven't played anything on it.
You talking about Game Pass?
Actually, you know what? I lied. I had canceled it, but I'm still able to play Call of Duty on it right now.
Okay.
I
Wait,
don't.
really?
Yes.
Dude, I
I
feel like
just
I
thought
feel like
about
I'm gonna
that.
get banned. Like I feel like we're gonna get banned, dude. Like they're gonna see us playing and they're gonna be like this guy's like cheating the system, bro.
Yeah,
Ban his
I'm on
ass.
Xbox. I'm on Xbox Silver, and yeah, I'm still playing. I was
Wow.
playing multiplayer.
Okay. Interesting.
Maybe I'm at the last tier of my gold. I'll check, but I know I canceled my subscription because I was like, I'm not even using this for
I
anything.
would be surprised about that for Call of Duty that you're getting away with that. But that is interesting. I think the other thing contributing to this for me too is I was kind of excited about um the subscription, the higher tiers of the subscription, if they were sold as cards, you know, the way you can buy the 1 year membership
Yeah,
as like a card that you put a code in, you know, like you can buy it on Amazon or whatever. Because right
yeah,
now the Amazon 1 year is $60. Like there's no discount at all. And even on Amazon, generally there used to always be like a discount of some sort. It was like $10, $15 maybe. Um, but I was hoping that they would release like physical cards you could buy for the higher tiers of the membership that eventually would go on sale, and you could get like 12 months of the highest tier, which I think is 120 a year for like $80 or something. I'm like, okay, I might have bought that, you know. But they haven't done anything like that, and I think it's starting to show. Like Sony is really eating away at the corners of value for their products, and they've been doing this for a while now, the last several months. And I think it's really starting to show in these kind of results that they're starting to report. I'm not sitting here and saying that I think they're going to continue to go down. I think this is probably a short term trend for them. I think as people accept the new normal with this, the numbers will probably go back up, especially as they sell more PlayStation 5s. These numbers will go back up, but I do think there has been an impact with the way they're handling this in kind of a nickel dimey kind of way, that I personally am not a huge fan of. So, what I wanted to talk about in relation to Xbox though is the next 12 months for Sony. Is I'm starting to think. Tell me what you think about this. I'm starting to think because Sony announced recently that they are planning to produce 30 million PlayStation 5s and they plan to sell 30 million PlayStation 5s next fiscal year, so 2023 into 2024. And that is an insane number, right? Because they haven't even sold 30 million yet in the 2 years that PS5 has been out. I think they're at like 25 or 26 million or something. So that is extremely ambitious in a time period right now where the economy worldwide is like fucking tanking. But the reason I think that they feel at least that they can pull this off is that there have been rumors, we haven't talked about them, but there have been rumors of a new iteration of the PS5 hardware that is going to not have a disk drive. They're going to release a new SKU and only have this SKU where there will be a detachable disk drive. It will come without a disk drive, and you will be able to buy a disk drive and put it into the unit. And they are going to stop selling the original two versions of the console, the ones we have now, the digital only and the one with the disk drive. And they're going to consolidate it down into one.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to sell that attachment. So if you want it, so that's one thing. The second thing is the games coming out next year. So they've got Spider-Man coming next year, but other than that, we know very little about the games lineup for next year. And I think they're holding on and they're planning on doing a fucking huge blowout at some point in the near future. Because there were actually rumors they were supposed to do a showcase last month in October, and they decided not to because they were so busy dealing with the Activision Blizzard stuff that we've been talking about. And they didn't have time to put anything together, or they didn't feel like the messaging would be good for them to have a showcase where they show a shitload of exclusives while they're arguing to governments that Xbox is gonna fucking make COD an exclusive and that's bad for everybody, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking they're holding a lot back right now, and I think they're gonna have a lot to say very soon, in the next few months once the Activision thing is kind of past us. And I'm thinking next year, like, they're gonna have a fuck ton of stuff, and I think that's why they're so bullish about selling that many units, because they've got that, and then we're gonna talk about this later, but the PSVR 2 is also coming out next year, as well. So I'm thinking Sony's got a big 12 to 18 months planned, and Xbox right now, I'm feeling like they've got fucking nothing, dude. Like, I don't know what is there even to be excited about except for like Starfield, at this point. So, I mean, what do you think of all that?
That was a lot.
You think I'm crazy?
No, I don't think you're crazy. I don't know. I PlayStation is in a very interesting spot. I think they're at the top right now.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know who said it, but somebody said anytime you can get to the top, it's easy to get to the top, but the hard part is maintaining the top. And I think right now, maintaining the top is really like weighing on them.
Mm-hmm.
They're making weird moves. Actually, that detached thing is kind of weird to me.
Yeah,
That lets me know that everybody's
they're trying to kill
trying to
physical, dude.
yeah, they are. Um, and like I said, I have no problem with them killing physical. They just need to lower the prices of digital games. Like, we factored in the reason why those games
Sony's
the way
not
they
doing
cost
that, bro. There's no
because
way.
it was distribution cost. Like, that
Yeah,
was it.
yeah.
But that we should whatever. But anyway, and I agree with you on Xbox. Like, Xbox has nothing coming out this year. I think Sony, I think this quarter and next quarter is carrying them, and that's why we really not hear anything about anything next year, because these 2 quarters, because we're in quarter 4 right now, I think, right?
No, it's
Going into
Q3 for them.
Q3 for
Their
them.
fiscal
Okay,
year, I believe, starts in March or April.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, quarter three and then quarter four, is really strong for them. So I believe like they kind of factor that into their Q1 being really weak. And that's probably why we don't hear anything. But you are right because I don't know what we're gonna do for Q3 and four of next year. I think that's like the biggest ones for all of them. Is
Right.
Q3 and Q4.
Which all
So
we know is Spider-Man, and I'm thinking that's probably going to be a September game
yeah,
or
um,
October.
and maybe because I'm seeing a lot more PS5s on the shelf and everything like that. So maybe they have some kind of
They've
blow.
already, dude. That so yeah, them manufacturing that talk about selling 30 million coincided with them saying they are significantly ramping up production. And yeah, I've heard anecdotally that people are starting to see these things out in the wild, like on store shelves, which
Yeah,
literally has not been a thing up till now. Like you have not been able to buy a PlayStation 5 anywhere but online. So that is actually kind of a game changer, I think, for the console. Actually, like I think that could also contribute to increased sales because people who aren't following the industry closely probably they're not going to be sitting there F5ing Target at 7 in the morning when they drop their PlayStation 5 stock. You know, like that they're not doing that. They'll buy one if they see it. You know,
mhm,
so I think there's a lot of people like that too. So it is kind of interesting. It's gonna be a weird. This is
yeah.
gonna be a weird generation, man. I think.
It is because like anecdotally, like I went to go pick up Bayonetta 3 from GameStop. I went to go pick up Bayonetta 3 and I went to go pick up
Mm,
Call of Duty. And
yeah.
the reason I did that is because I wanted to return some games. So I returned like sorry y'all, I returned Smash Brothers because we literally haven't played that game since like that one
Man,
day.
dude, I bought it like last year wanting to play it with you guys, man, and it's just like you're right.
Yeah, I
I
took
know.
it. I took it back. Um, I took back Mario Odyssey,
Oof.
Pokemon Sword,
Okay.
um, and another game. I forgot what the other game was. I took Final Fantasy 12. I took that back.
Okay.
So those games still had a lot of fucking value. I got like $25 each game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, people make
I
fun of GameStop, but bro, they give you credit, man. There's certain games.
yeah,
Nintendo stuff is fucking like mint
yeah.
for them. Yeah, you'll get good value.
I still had a membership for them, so I got and I was putting it towards store credit, so it was a lot more.
Yeah.
So I ended up spending only like $30 for everything for Bayonetta and Call of Duty.
Hmm.
Um, So that was pretty cool. But I don't know. I was in there and a guy came in there. It was like two, three people in there, and they still had PS4s. And one of the dudes I was talking to, because he asked the clerk for help. He's like, he was returning Battlefield, and he was like, I like stuff that's more first person or whatever, or third person. And you got any third person games? And the clerk was like, he was kind of young. I think he was like in his early 20s or whatever, but he didn't know what third person was.
Oh
And he's
no.
like, yeah. And he was like, yeah, I want to look for something. So I was like, hey, you can play like The Last
No,
of Us
dude.
2 or whatever,
Oh my
or
god.
whatever. And he's like, oh, is that like a third person game? I was like, yes, a third person story game and everything like that. So he was just talking to me. He's asking the clerks questions, and then I was answering the questions because the clerks were like,
How are you hiring people in GameStop who don't know what third person means? What are you talking about, bro?
so I don't know if the dude was nervous or whatever. But
Oh
then
man.
after I went up there and uh, I was getting my stuff ready. They're like, they weren't talking to me like they were talking to the other customers. They're like, oh, this guy actually knows video games and stuff like that. Because I guess because I was buying Bayonetta, like not that people in there didn't look like they played Bayonetta. But
Yeah.
like I was buying
Yeah.
Bayonetta and I was buying Call of Duty though. Um, so yeah, I don't know. It's just weird. That was just my anecdotal experience, but like a lot of people still had PS4s. And
Yeah.
that was like four or five people in there, and then I was like the only person that had a PS5. And like I was trying to get my membership, and he was trying to get my address. I'm like, bro, I'm gonna slide you my address because I'm the only person that got a PS5 in the store. So like, uh,
Yeah.
so so but yeah, like I just I thought that was weird. And he was trying to tell me like, hey, well, next time the PS5 comes out into sale, like you can get priority over it or whatever. And I'm like, all right, I don't really need it. Um, but yeah, a lot of people are still in that PS4, man. A lot of people. Like we
Yeah.
are the huge minority. And I understand why PlayStation is still doing what they're doing, but they I think next year they're quarter four and quarter five. I think they're gonna be really strong. Like we are the huge minority. And I understand why PlayStation is still doing what they're doing, but they I think next year they're quarter four and quarter five. I think they're really, like you said, they're ramping up. If they are ramping up production, the reason why they're not really choosing video games because they're going to see a resurgence of that because people are going to be buying those video games either again or because I mean they don't have free upgrades. A lot of them don't have free upgrades to PS5 versions,
Right.
so you're going to be seeing a lot of people rebuy games or just buying the console over, and then there's the subscriptions are probably going to go up again as well. So I think it's going to be a bounce, like it's a dip right now, but then it's going to come right back up next
Yeah.
year, especially around the holiday season next year.
Yeah, and I think they're planning to make a huge push. I think they want to push us into the like. I don't think they want to keep making shit for PS4. Like I don't think they want to do that, but I don't think they feel like they have a choice, right? Because God of War Ragnarok is, I think it was intended to be a launch window game, and it got fucked up by COVID, and it is now at the point, like they kind of got lucky in a sense that they haven't sold that many PS5s because this game is, I mean, God of War, the first one is like a fucking 20 million seller, I think, or 15 million or something like that. That's almost as many consoles as they have out there for PS5. So if they made it exclusive to PS5, like they would fucking severely hamper the game's potential sales. So I think they understand that, which is why they're continuing to make games for PS4. So I'm hoping in the next calendar year, yeah, we push through and we're kind of out of that this like cross generation situation. But we shall see. All right, Montrell, let's move on. We got a few more stories to get through here before we go. Next one is September MPD. So actually, I always forget about this for like a week or two after it's fucking out. But so these are actually interesting numbers. This month there was a lot of new games on the top 20. So let's go through. Video game sales for September 2022, 4.073 billion this year versus 4.260 billion last year. That is a minus 4% change. Video game content, this is full game sales, microtransactions, etc., subscriptions. This year was 3.408 billion versus 3.676 billion last year. That is a minus 7% decrease. Video game hardware sales, 490 million this year versus 410 million last year. That is a 19% increase. And then video game accessories was flat, 174 million this year and last year. And then year-to-date sales are down 8% for total video game sales, down 9% for video game content, and down 1% for hardware, and down 13% for accessories. So we're continuing to see that trend where the COVID bump is not maintaining. The industry is falling a little bit. And I'm expecting to see that for the next few months, probably until I'm thinking next year this is going to turn around again, probably. But you know, it's going to take until there's more new consoles out there, more than likely. All right, top 20 games for the month in the US. Number 1, FIFA 23. Number 2, Madden NFL 23. Number 3, NBA 2K 23. Number 4, Splatoon 3. Number 5, The Last of Us Part 1. Number 6, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Cowabunga Collection. Number 7, Saints Row. Number 8, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle. Number 9, Elden Ring. Number 10, Mario Kart 8. Number 11, Minecraft. Number 12, Marvel Spider-Man. Number 13, Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. Number 14, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Number 15, Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. Number 16, Horizon 2 Forbidden West. 17, Call of Duty Vanguard. 18, Assassin's Creed Valhalla. 19, MLB The Show 22. And 20, Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, very randomly.
They have a sale for that game or something?
There must have been. I don't know. Did it come out on a new platform? I don't fucking know, dude. That's literally came out like 2 or 3.5 years ago. I don't like.
You know my theory about anime gamers, bro.
Yeah, man. Actually, did it come out? How long ago did that game come out? Dragon Ball Z Kakarot release date.
Actually, I think we were still.
Was it last year?
Were we still recording in your house?
No, dude, yeah, this game is almost 3 years old. Why is it on the top 20? Like, what? This fucking came out January 16, 2020. Like,
Yeah, we were still
What?
recording at your house. I remember that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude. Yeah, no, fuck, no joke, dude. Yeah, this is pre-COVID. This game came out. Like, what the fuck? Okay, it must have come out on a new fucking platform, dude. There's no other
Yeah,
explanation. Um,
probably.
all right.
Oh, I
Anything
think the
jump?
Switch version came out.
Okay. Oh, okay. That would explain it. That'd be the
I
only
think a Switch
console.
version came out.
That'd be the
Yeah.
only platform that I feel like could carry it to this level. Like, but anything jumping out to you here except for the ongoing, just depressing march of sports games dominating September and fucking August.
Uh, nah. I mean, I already knew that this sports games. I was actually, I was one game I was looking forward to being on here. Actually, you know what? There's two games. The Ninja Turtles Cowabunga Collection.
Number 6. Very strong showing.
And JoJo's Bizarre Adventures.
Number
All
8.
Star. Yeah.
Strong showings for
That
both.
Yeah, that was really random. I know the game is really good. I know it's like has a cult following, and I know people love the anime, especially since it got put on Netflix. Put a lot of people onto the anime. But yeah, I wasn't expecting it to do this. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's actually a really good game.
Splatoon 3 at number 4, I gotta say, that is a surprise.
It's not a surprise to me, bro.
This game is so weirdly popular, and
you can put a Splatoon 1, Splatoon 2, and Splatoon 3 up into my face, and I don't know. I'm like, you playing the same game.
Dude, Montrell, I'm gonna be honest with you, dude. If we ever get big, we're gonna do dumb shit like that. Where we're gonna do this show where we do this like trivia. Where like, yeah, I'm gonna set up 3 teams. I'm gonna set you up, and I'm gonna put you in front of Splatoon 1, 2, and 3, and play them. And you're gonna have to tell me which one is which.
No, people are gonna listen to our old episodes and they're gonna be like, "These guys are Splatoon haters. I hate them." It's gonna be on their fucking front page of their Reddit or whatever. Like,
no, bro, like, no. Okay, when I saw, dude, didn't I send you a clip like a week or two ago? And I was like, "What is?" I don't even understand what's going on in this game. Like, I can't tell you what the goal
the object
of the game
is not to kill people. You can kill people, right? But the object is to paint the entire the map. I think.
Yeah,
I think that's the object of the game. I think.
Yeah, I watch people play it, and I'm like, I don't understand what you're doing. I don't know why you're doing anything you're doing. It's just I play games. I play a lot of games, and it's just,
it was one clip of Splatoon that went viral. It got like 2,000 likes and like retweets, and it was like, I guess it was a good play. The dude was like diving under and then painting the wall, diving under again. I think he was dodging shots while he was diving and painting, and he won the game. And I'm like, but you didn't kill anybody.
He's just like looking at a wall, shooting it. Like that's the clip. And it gets
exactly. You know what Splatoon reminds me of? Like, it's to us Americans, right? This is like an American thing. It reminds me of when people get hype over soccer, and I watch soccer. And then like a move happens and the crowd goes fucking nuts, and I'm like, I don't know what just happened.
I can speak to this one. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna give you Splatoon people a break because Montrell's right. Okay, Americans are dumb and don't understand soccer. They just don't. Sorry, football. They don't understand football.
Yeah, they understand football. Yeah,
and it's unfortunate because it is a beautiful game, and when a
exactly.
guy crosses a dude up and you can barely see it, it's hype as fuck, man. Like, and then he like fucking kicks the ball and it just like goes in the net, and he does it from like 80 yards away. That's fucking insane, bro. But Americans are like, me no like it, not football. Guy don't hit other guy as he kicks ball.
I think the thing about football, about real football, because it got American football, you got real football. So I'm gonna call it real football.
Yeah.
So thing about real football is like they don't score often. Like, it's rare that you see like 3 points on the
That's
thing,
why
right?
it's hype when a dude does something.
Exactly, but they get hype over like they get hyped over getting blue balls. Like, you almost got
it's
it.
like almost, it's like an almost thing, It's like it is blue balls. It's like you're stroking and you're like trying to get it out, man, but it's not happening, but then it finally does, and it's fucking incredible, that's.
And I want to say, I think Splatoon is the same way.
Yeah.
It's like it's a first person or it's a third person shooter,
Yeah.
but it's like it's soccer. It's literally soccer. Like the game's obviously not the way soccer is played, but like that's the analogy I can give people. Like when you or for baseball fans, right? When y'all watch
Yeah.
cricket, y'all like, what the fuck is going on in cricket? Like there is a bat, but it's not the same thing. It's
Cricket is weird. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So it's that's what Splatoon is to me. And it's like I have to play the game to understand the game, but I also don't want to spend my money buying the game. And I also don't want to waste my time trying to learn the game. Like I just don't want to watch it on YouTube. Like I just
Yeah.
don't care.
Yeah.
And when it does come up and it comes up on my timeline, I'm just like I ignore it. I don't think I only said like one or two bad things about Splatoon throughout this entire podcasting career of mine. I just don't really have anything to say about it
I
because
think
I'm
it's
just
just
like,
that
I don't
we have no interest in it whatsoever, and we have no idea what's
exactly,
going on in the game. You know?
exactly.
Yeah.
So I know they have a PvP mode or PvE mode in Splatoon 3. So if you show me that,
Okay.
I'll be like, okay,
All
that's
right.
Splatoon 3 because
Montreal.
they added,
This feels like
you know,
content, right? This feels like a good content idea. Just one of the two of us, or maybe both of us, we just go on the Splatoon Reddit and read like meta gameplay posts, where they talk about the game, and strategies and stuff. And then they have all these like acronyms and things. We have no idea what the fuck they're saying. And it just triggers the shit out of us.
or I just like post a picture of me throwing paint to the wall. Like, look, guys, I'm Splatooning. I get banned off the subreddit.
Am I playing the game right, guys? Or I just like post a clip of me like jumping out of the like diving into the ground, jumping up, diving into the ground, not shooting or anything, just like going up and down. I'm like, am I playing the game, guys? Am I doing a good job?
Yeah,
No,
like that.
scrub.
Bro, Splatoon has. I remember. I remember. You remember like a couple years ago, or maybe like a
Mhm.
year or two ago, when they did a direct and Splatoon was on there, and they had a team. Like
Yeah.
it's a league for Splatoon,
Yeah.
and I was just like, I don't get it.
I mean, I'm sorry. I don't mean to laugh. It's awesome, actually. I think it's actually really cool, but I just like I don't get it though. I can't wrap my head around the idea of competitive Splatoon.
Like the strategies involved in painting the wall, bro.
Can you
Like I don't.
imagine like a fucking caster, like somebody who does like League or Dota, like talking about Splatoon, like, oh, he's doing the wall over there. Oh, he's painting it. He's painted that whole area over there. Oh, nobody's touching him. Nobody's touching him. Oh, he's got like a quarter of the mouse. Great.
You know, Justin, I really like the dive in, dive out strategy that that guy's using there. It's really cool. He also used the big brush instead of the small paint gun that he always used. Phenomenal work. I never seen someone use a big brush
He's
like that
doing the
before.
zigzag technique, the zigzag technique, and it's working like crazy. They have no answer to the zigzag.
It's such a weird concept. I actually think it's still cool.
I
Different.
actually think it's really cool. I think the fact that we don't understand it is the reason why it's so popular, because the people who do understand
Exactly.
it, it's probably really fucking cool, like,
Yeah,
but
I think
yeah,
that's the appeal of it too. It's so different from like the Call of Duties and the
yeah.
Fortnites. You're just shooting people. It's like that's not the object of the game. The object of the game is like who has the most paint, who's covered the biggest part of the maps and stuff like that. So, but there are strategies involved in that. So I don't know. Maybe there's cooldowns to where it's like League or Dota, where you kill somebody and you have a cooldown, so you got one painter down, and without that one painter down, you can't. They're covering the map and stuff. I mean, I'm just making guesses, bro. I don't fucking know. So,
I love it. That feels like more content. We try to guess meta terms in Splatoon, like what they mean. Jesus. That's fun. I don't know. I feel like it's someday I'm gonna pick up Splatoon and I'm gonna get it, and I'm probably gonna get addicted to it. Like I feel that. I do feel that. Like that is a possible outcome in my life.
Splatoon is like Supernatural fans. Like I don't know if you ever watched Supernatural or came across a Supernatural fan, but Jesus Christ, they
I
love
came
that
across one.
show.
I've never watched that show.
Okay, yeah. I had a couple of friends who are Supernatural fans, and they love that show. And I think Splatoon, like even I watched it, and I got sucked into it for like 4 or 5 seasons, and I'm like, what the fuck? Why am I still watching this shit? And I think Splatoon is like that. I think, like you said, once you play it and you understand it, you're gonna be like, I get it now. I want to play this shit all the time, you know. So we,
I'm a squid now. I'm a kid now. Right.
yeah, you're a
That's
squid
what they
kid or
say.
whatever they call them. Is that
Yeah.
what they call them? Squid bullies? No,
Squid,
that's a
squid.
show on Tsunami.
I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
Before we move on, Last of Us Part 1, I just want to call that out too. Number 5. That's a pretty strong showing for a remake. Not even a remake, like kind of a
A
semi
remaster. It's a glorified remaster.
Yeah, so somehow good demand for that game. All right, Montrell, let's move on. More Sony stuff. Sony has announced today that, or actually this was yesterday, PlayStation VR 2, they have officially given us a release date. It is coming in February, on February 22nd, and it is going to be launching at $549.99.
What?
Yes, sir. And they have said that there will be 20 plus titles accompanying this launch, ready to go for you to play on your PSVR 2 headset. Yeah, $549.99. Montrell, are you excited for the new age of VR?
Do you need a PlayStation 5 to play this?
Yes.
Oh, this shit's dead.
I okay. So Meta didn't they just announce like the Oculus Pro or something, Quest Pro
Yes,
for
and
like
it's cheaper.
$1,500?
It's $1,500.
Yes, the Quest Pro.
I thought it was like $300.
No, they have a Quest 2 that's $400.
Okay. Yeah, people would just buy the Quest.
So I think Sony. Okay, so going back to what we were talking about earlier, right? You know how I was talking about they're eating at the edges of value. This is them.
Yeah.
They keep doing this, dude, where they're overpricing everything that they announce. Where they did it with the fucking controller, this Pro controller that they're coming out, whatever the Edge controller, whatever it's called. That thing's $200, right? Now this thing, $549.99, $550. I'm like, I like Sony. I don't understand. Like they're like positioning themselves like they're Nintendo or something. You know, that's what they're starting to do, and it's not having an effect right now. But I do feel like, as much as I was talking about them having a big year earlier, I do feel like in the
Yeah.
long term, if they continue down this path, they are going to start pricing themselves out of certain people's budgets, in my opinion.
Well,
Now,
I mean, we both made this prediction that they're trying to station themselves around the Apple
premium.
model.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They want to be the premium gaming console. Yeah.
Yep. So,
Yeah.
I mean, continue.
And this is an optional peripheral, so it's not like it hurts them necessarily. But like
they did spend money on this R&D.
They put R&D into this. They have to manufacture this, so they want this thing to sell. It needs to sell, right? They can't just throw it into the ether and it doesn't sell any units. Like that would be very bad for them. So, I think this price is steep, man. This is really steep. I know VR is expensive, and it is kind of it's an expensive hobbyist thing.
That's where I think that was my initial thought to it now. But the Oculus Rift, whichever one was like $299 or $399.
Well, so
Quest 2?
Remember, Meta increased the price of the Quest by $100 recently to $400 from $300.
Okay. So yeah, I think that was very affordable.
Yeah.
And I knew a lot of people who were just buying it randomly. Like it was
I was
almost
thinking
like,
about it. 300 is definitely in the range where you're like, you know, if you're like,
yeah, I was thinking about getting it for Deanna because she used to like the VRs for the cell phones.
Yeah.
But I was gonna give like the actual Oculus Rift or whatever like that. But you know that shit's like $400 now, so I'm not.
Well, and that's a completely wireless, self-contained device, right? This is not.
That's another thing.
You need a PlayStation 5, and it also requires one cable to be plugged into your PS5. You need to plug in with a USB-C. It's not wireless. So,
to me personally, I think that's like super fucking dangerous because I do not want my PS5 to follow.
No, I know that's shit. Dude, like it's a fair point to make. Given, and also I just think it's inconvenient too, because for somebody like me, like my PS5 is across the room, you know, I play.
Yeah.
I don't. I am not. I don't want to be close to it or the TV when I'm playing. Like I am trying to relax and lounge back. Like I don't need a
Yeah.
cable connecting to my fucking PlayStation to play my game. So I think that's like a huge fucking miss, dude. This cable better be like 50 feet long. Because it's like because you think about it, most people probably have their PlayStation in their living room, right? Which is not conceivably close enough for a 6 foot cable or even a fucking 8 foot cable or 10 maybe.
Is it 8 foot or 6 foot?
I don't know. It doesn't
Can you
say.
can you swap out the cable, like buy a third party cable?
I don't know. That's not clear either. I mean, based on the pictures, it doesn't look like it, dude. It's like one of those cables that's like built into the device.
Yeah, bro. I remember when I heard about this coming out and they said it was gonna have a cable. I was like, all right, if this thing is priced at like $200,
Yeah.
cool. Like I can see that. But $600 actually. That's $600. Let's just be honest with you. Like
Yeah.
taxes and
With
everything like that,
tax.
that's
Yeah.
$600.
Yeah.
Um so you're paying $600 for this and it's not even like, to me it's not even a complete console. It is a console in itself, but it's like not a console. You're paying $600 for a commodity that you really don't fucking need.
Yeah.
That's why I say this is dead in the water. And then they always do this shit. And then like, even though PlayStation VR 1 was a hit, like this is it's PSP all over again. This is the Vita. This is going to be the Vita.
Yeah.
Like it's going to be a really good
Thing is,
piece of
like,
technology.
PSVR 1 was like, I mean, it is. I would call it a hit. It sold several million units.
No, that's what I'm saying.
But
The PS1, the PSVR 1 was the PSP, right? And now we got the
I see what you
PSVR
mean.
2
Yeah.
is going to be the PS Vita,
Okay.
which is a good piece of technology, but it priced itself out the market.
Yeah. Yeah. So they
And I
didn't say the cable length here, and the cable length for the original PSVR is 4.4 meters. So somewhere probably around 5 meters, which I mean that's 15 feet, 14 or 15
okay,
feet.
that's pretty decent.
So that is pretty long, but I mean, uh, still, it's a
Yeah, that's
cable. This
about
is the other issue, though. The fact that it's built into the device is scary, man. Because how many cabled headsets have you owned in your life that fucking just randomly die one day? The
a
cable
lot.
just fucking stops working. Like the
Yeah.
connection phrase over time. And I don't know. It's not great. I don't think that's great. I think the cable thing is actually kind of a big deal, but the price is a bigger deal. Like
I think the price is a bigger deal. I think the fact that the PSVR 1 sold so much with the cable, I thought that would be a big deal, but apparently it wasn't.
yeah,
But the fact that that it, yeah, $600 or $550 if you want to just go by the retail price, but after taxes it's gonna be like $587 or something like that, $590
yeah,
or whatever, $600.
yeah.
Um, then you get to buy the games, or do the games come with the VR? Or you got to buy the game separately,
You
right?
gotta buy the games.
Yeah, so then you got to buy the games. So
You're buying a whole
I,
You're buying. It costs more than the console does. Like, I mean, like, what the fuck, man? And like, dude, you got these fucking two controllers, right? I mean, they look cool as shit, but fucking, dude, you like they're selling a charging station separately for it that you probably are gonna want to buy
wait,
too.
wait, what?
Yeah.
It doesn't come with a charging station for the controllers?
No, I think you can plug the controllers in
Okay.
theoretically, but it does not come with the unit. Not according to what I'm looking at on the blog here,
Oh my god,
PlayStation
they
blog.
really are pulling the Apple. Holy shit.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm
I don't
surprised they're
think this is
selling a
a good
power
idea.
cable.
I don't think this is a good idea. I don't know how this passed.
No, I mean, dude,
Like,
PSVR 2 in theory, right, was like it sounds really cool.
no,
Everything I've heard about it
it's
spec
a
wise is like it is up there with the best VR headsets in terms of specs
no,
and what
no.
they're doing with it. Like,
I agree with that. I think the technology is there. I think
no,
the games are
yeah,
there
let me
and
finish.
everything.
Like at $400, if they had done $400, I think they are like positioning themselves very competitively with Meta, right, in the
Yeah.
Oculus. But I think at this price, they're like totally fucking crazy to me.
To be honest with you, I even think 400 is crazy. I think it needs to be
Because you
half the
need the
price.
console. I know what you're saying, but they
Yeah.
can't sell this thing fucking like losing $200 every unit. It's like that's bad. That they can't do that. So I kind of get it to some degree, but dude, it's like 550 is. I mean, like you said,
I,
it's ostensibly $600, and then to buy a game is another 50, probably 50 to 70. So you're looking at $700 just to even get started with this thing. Forgetting the fact if you don't have the console, you need to buy that too. Which if you buy the digital model, okay, I mean, dude, you're talking like 1100, 1150, probably $1,200 if you buy the disc version. Like that's fucking insane, dude, to play PSVR
maybe
2.
maybe they didn't put that much R&D into it, like money wise.
They
I just
definitely did. They've been working on this for a long time, dude. Like they have put a lot into this, I think. Like,
I think they should have. I knew they rode the wave of PSVR 1. Honestly, they should have just rode that wave a little bit more
mhm,
longer until the technology got a little bit cheaper and then released PSVR 2.
yeah,
I know it's kind of hard. It's hard to fucking believe, y'all, but we are 2 years, almost 3 years into the life cycle of the next gen.
2 years.
2 years. So, in my opinion, this should have been like a 4-year thing. Like 4 years into the life cycle. Okay, now we're because it's in the most households now and everything like that. We dropped this. Or
Yeah,
3 years.
yeah,
I just think this is way too early. And in the climate we're in right now, economy wise, yikes. This is not a
yeah.
good look.
You know what's fucked up, dude? I would have thought about this at 400. I'm not saying I would have bought it at launch, but once I saw like some killer apps that I really wanted to play on it,
Hmm.
I would have thought about it, I think. But at this price, man, oofa. Oofa.
Yeah, you're right. Because I guess,
I'm gonna need to have a very, very good month where I have a ridiculous amount of disposable income I'm doing nothing with to buy this thing, you know?
yeah. And maybe that's what they're targeting. Maybe they're targeting those people.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know, man. I just, yikes. And you know what? Maybe once it comes out, it has some really cool games on it and apps and
Yeah.
all this stuff that people can do. And maybe it just sells based off word of mouth. And I'm hoping that's what happens. I just really don't want this to be another Vita. Like I really don't
Yeah.
want it to be another
I mean,
Vita.
I will say, dude, those controllers look fucking cool as shit. The little
Yeah.
hand controllers they have. But it's like, I don't know, dude. Like, cause this Horizon game that they're showing that they're like selling as a launch bundle, like, I'm sorry, man. It just doesn't. It looks so cheesy to me. I don't like. This is what I hate about like current VR. Still, is like your character. You have like these fucking disembodied hands. You know, like you don't even have like rendered fucking arms for the character. You know, like shit like that. And the way the movement and stuff is just so like it feels so on rails. Still, it's like, can we like graduate out of this? You know, I don't know. Because this kind of shit is not what excites me about VR. You know?
Well, I mean, we just people gotta buy it, invest in it more and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I think if I was to spend $600, right,
yeah,
I would spend up to $800 for like a VR set
yeah,
and like a locomotion type deal to where I can move like full body
yeah.
and be immersed into the world. I
Oh,
think
you're gonna
that's
pay
what.
way more. You're gonna pay way more than that for something like that, though. Like that. That's so
Yeah,
high tech, dude. You know?
yeah, but I'm willing to pay up to like $1,000 for that shit because that shit would be fucking cool.
Yeah.
Like that would be really cool. Um, like imagine playing like a BR like that or something like that. You're in like a little treadmill
Oh
and you
yeah,
need
dude. I mean,
yeah.
God, you know how fast people would get in shape?
Exactly. It benefits.
uh,
It's like
I would love
if
that
you
shit, dude.
advertise it that way, like then
That's how
video
I would
games
work
will
out.
become exactly like that would be cool. Like let's play Apex Legends with each other. All right, cool. And we're running around and we're doing shit and we're running like miles, but
Yeah.
we don't feel it because we're not mentally we're not feeling it because we're like playing the game. But then
Yeah.
you get off the game, you're like, man, you just ran like 10 miles.
You just
You know what I'm
beat the
saying?
shit out of yourself. Yeah.
Yeah.
Your
So
body's like, what is wrong with you? And then
so
in game you get tired and you're like, ugh, and your character's like hunched over, you know. Fucking
yeah, and I think that's how they should like advertise these games, and I think that's where eventually VR will get there. But like Deleon told me, like it's baby steps. So
No, I know it is
I,
baby steps. It's like the thing is, no, this is the problem with it. Is yes, it's baby steps, but like these things need to, these products need to exist, and companies need to want to make them, and they need to sell
Yeah.
in order for
Hmm.
VR to continue to exist, so we can continue to make those baby steps. That's what I'm worried about. Like, if Sony prices themselves so high here that nobody buys this thing, guess what? Sony's going to get out of VR. They're not going to continue to do this. So, meaning that we lose a big player, somebody who's specifically a game making company not making VR. I think that would be very bad for the industry and
Well,
for
that's
VR
just
in
my
general.
issue with Sony, man. They're like followers. They don't want to be the innovators.
Yeah,
Like they're always following.
yeah,
Like you remember the PlayStation Move? That was a response to Wii.
yeah.
You know,
Which
even
they'll
with
say
this,
that what that's not true. They'll say that
I
that shit
know
was in development before the Wii, but it
it
took
wasn't.
3 or 4 years for it to come out after the Wii. So
Yeah. And then to me, the PS Vita, right? That was in response to like the Game Boy DS and 3D and not 3DS, but the Nintendo DS and everything like that. Uh, and the Vita and everything like that. Like, and then once they have a hit, they try to capitalize on it, which I commend. But then they just do it in the in the most awful way possible. And even with like their subscription shit, right? They're like, okay, we got Game Pass, we got our version of Game Pass now, but it's like
yeah.
the most terrible way to do it.
Well,
And
like
it's like,
premium, yeah, it was supposed to be this, like, you get like the retro games or
yeah,
whatever. Dude, I don't think they've added a single game since the subscription launched. Like to
exactly.
the list of games. It's
Yeah, I
terrible.
mean, we probably gotta check it, but I mean, I haven't heard anybody like getting hype because every time Nintendo adds something to their little fucking Switch online, which I think is weak as fuck, people get hyped about it. I hear
Right,
about it all the time.
right.
I don't really hear anything about PlayStation's lineup, but like, I just think PlayStation themselves, even if this PSVR 2, I hope it doesn't fail, but even if it does, like become a dud at the beginning of the stages, I think they can innovate this because they gotta think long term too, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't think metaverse or meta is going to be here any longer because I just keep hearing billions and billions of dollars getting lost because of the metaverse. Um,
Yeah.
and then who else are they going to have to compete with? Like, is because Oculus is
Vive.
that's
The
Steam's,
Vive
right?
the Vive is probably, I think, the only other one left, really, that realistically.
Is the Vive?
Yeah. That's
Okay,
that's
it's HTC, right?
I think so, yeah. With
Yeah,
with Valve.
with Valve. Okay, so yeah, that's they're going to be their biggest competitor, and I mean,
But
let's just be.
realistically though, it's not like a real competitor, right? Like, it's a different
I was just
pricing
about to say
bracket.
that.
Totally
Let's
different
just be
pricing
realistic.
bracket. Yeah.
Yeah, like let's be realistic. Like, you know, I don't really, even though PC is a console and everything like that, like I don't really consider them in the hands of the console market because casuals don't build PCs.
Right.
So, like the PSVR will be the only one in its space. And maybe they're counting on that. Maybe they're banking on that. Maybe they're banking on the metaverse failing and the meta devices failing and everything like that. But it's like, if I wanted VR and I go into a store and I go into a Best Buy and I'm like, I want to get VR, bro. Like I really want to get into it. What do I do? I'm casual. I just casually do it. I want to do the little boxing thing, put the little headset on. What do I need? And they're like, what's your price point? And I'm like, $500. Oh, okay, cool. We can take you to the metaverse Oculus Rift Pro or
Yeah.
Oculus Rift. Whatever, which one? The metaverse one. Okay, cool. That's it. You know. Oh, but I heard PlayStation has one. Yeah, they do. You can get the PSVR 1 if you have a PlayStation 4. Oh, I do have PlayStation 4. Okay, yeah, we can give you a PSVR 1. That's cool. That's like $200 or $300, or yeah, like $300. That's we can give you that. All right, cool. But I heard they just released a new one, a VR 2. Do you have a PS5? No, I don't. Oh, well, it won't be compatible with your PlayStation 4, bro.
Yeah.
Boom. That it's literally the PS Vita and the Wii U situation all over again. I just walked out how played how it's going to be in the stores for retail people.
Mm.
That's how it's going to play out.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I
nah,
don't know.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it does. I don't know. It feels like there's not enough PlayStation's 5s out there for this, but
Yeah, that's where I'm getting at. I think if there wasn't a pandemic and the supply line was cool and half their install base moved over to PS5, this will be a smash hit. I would not have any objections. I was like, the price is still too high, but people are going to buy it.
Yeah.
But that's not the case. So,
yep. All right. We'll see how it does. We will continue to monitor this for sure when it comes out and beyond. All right, Montrell, let's move on. We got one more story. This one's for me. Whew, I'm excited. Front Mission First, the remake has finally gotten a release date. It was supposed to be coming in November, which we are in November, and we fucking heard nothing about the date in November, but they told us it's coming on November 30th, the last possible day in November they could fucking release it. And it is going to be $35, which is a good price, I think. Definitely worth it. And also, if you pre-order it, which you'll be able to do starting on November 16th, you will actually get 10% off on the eShop as well. So you can get it for as low as $31.50 if you buy it a little early, which I actually may do in this case because I'm pretty sure this is going to be digital only. So, and I'm definitely planning on getting this. I'm happy about the release date being later in the month, so that gives me time to play Tactics Ogre and God of War as well. So it's not crowding the early window. And I think Square's doing that deliberately because Tactics Ogre is coming out on Switch. So I don't think they want two tactics games fucking going against each other in the same week or within a week or two of each other. Which, I mean, it's only 3 weeks difference, but still, it's, I think it's enough of a breathing space that they can do it. And I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of degenerates like me. We SRPG fans are fucking. I mean, we've been eating lately, but like we are so traditionally starved that when we get these fucking excellent SRPGs, we just buy them. It doesn't matter, So I'm fucking excited for this game. This game is fucking dope. The story takes place in the year 2090. And it's a really cool series. I recommend checking it out if you're into strategy games. Montreal, do you have any interest in this?
Yeah, I'm actually going to pick it up. I'm not going to pick it up first day, but I'm going to pick it up.
Okay. Yeah, it's fucking mecha game, Vonzers. And I can't wait till they do 3 because they did announce they're doing 3. 3 is like fucking crazy. The story is fucking insane in that game. So I'm looking forward to that one too. So, but yeah, all right, Montrell, that's all we had for news. So is there anything you'd like to discuss before we call it a day here?
Nope, that's it for me.
Alrighty, so that's going to be it for us, guys. We hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please like the show, review the show, and subscribe to the show on whatever feed you are listening to it on. And please share it with your friends. If you'd like to interact with us on Twitter, you can do so at iTrap for the Hokage for Montrell. That is the number 4, not the word. I'm at ThunderNut01, and the show is at The Player's Take. If you'd like to send us questions, you can do so on Twitter, or you can send us an email, playerstake01@gmail.com. And that is it for us, guys. We hope you enjoyed this episode, and we will see you next week.